all Motown. Over here, check this out.
Yeah.
It's kind of messy, but
What messy? What are you talking about, man?
this is all Rolling Stones. Everything here. All Rolling Stones except for the bottom three are Dylan.
Yeah, look at
Satanic.
this. Where is it? Good
Lord. Satanic Majesties, there's about
Look.
20 of them. Mono, I got about 5 monos. They're worth about $400 or $500 each.
Good Lord.
These are all Stones.
All
This
the
program for Dylan, this is 61 and this is 63 in New York. Yeah, but these are all Stones. These
Yeah,
are
well,
all,
I'll tell you what, let me pull one out and show him.
that's Japanese.
Japanese stones.
Yeah, these
I'm
are all
keeping the
Japanese.
place.
Yeah, didn't know that.
Tom, you mean how many
Those are Stones bootlegs here.
These are Stones
The only one-
bootlegs.
Everything's Stones except for this, and this one, and this one and this one. These 4 are Dylan. These are all Stones.
That was
my God.
just there.
That's a bootleg, huh?
Yeah.
Surrey Rehearsals, 68.
These are all Stones promo 45s in these books. White labels, radio station copies, and acetates. These are all Stones foreign 45s with sleeves from around the world. And Dylan, too, is up there in the boxes. These are Dylan promos. First Dylan album records up there. These are
You
Japanese.
should have all this stuff in a fireproof vault somewhere,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
Or
these
one
are
of these rental
Springsteen,
places.
Dylan stocks and DJs. This is all American U.S. 60s and 70s. Mostly 60s, of course.
You mean just
Grateful Dead, Jefferson Airplane, Buffalo Springfield, Neil Young, 60s U.S. stuff. Hey, here we
It's
go.
unbelievable, I mean.
Here we go. This is these are all Beatles and Stones DVDs. Stones, you can see Toronto '99. The dates. You see them. Dylan, Stones, Beatles. That's all there.
You need to transfer all these to DVDs.
These here are all Rolling Stone. These are all Dylan books in this shelf. Everything here is Dylan. Song books, sheet music. Everything in here is Dylan. Everything in here and these two are all Stones.
you mean just literature and
Yeah,
books?
books, magazines from around the world.
Geez, now Tom, I mean this is extraordinary. I don't.
What have you done?
Well,
We got more rooms. These are all just 45s from the 60s back there. These are all the, back here are all the reel-to-reels. Beatles and Stones and Dylan from all the reel-to-reel tapes. With the 3D cover.
3D cover on a reel-to-reel?
Yep,
You mean the
yep.
stuff they used to sell at Columbia
With the
House?
tapes. Oh, you get them anywhere.
I mean, those were they were commercially made.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they were big.
back then,
they
I
were
mean-
especially big in Vietnam for the military. So they used to go to Japan, and get the nice TIAC and Sony decks, reel-to-reel, and they sold lots of them to...
Yeah, before
overseas. But
cassettes and
these are all-
8-tracks and everything, it was
these are Beach
reel-to-reels.
Boys. Yeah. These are Beach Boys, Crosby, Stills, Nash, The Doors, Bee Gees, everybody. The Who, Led Zeppelin, Donovan, The Animals.
Jeez. Yeah, so that you would set up a reel-to-reel and listen to your...
I have an old picture of me in my basement at my dad's house, and behind me there's a dual turntable, and a Kenwood amplifier, and a big TIAC reel-to-reel.
Yeah.
And there was no cassettes. There was no such thing as cassettes or 8-tracks or anything like that.
Here's the original cover for the soundtrack album of Performance. They changed it. That never came out.
That's the original?
Yeah, that never came out. That was rejected. Of course, I collect models too. World War II Navy ships. My dad was in the Navy. And I collect baseball stuff.
So Tom, you're just basically a collector. I mean, you've always been a collector.
Collecting Coca-Cola. Wait until you see the Coca-Cola stuff I bought in the last year. Oh my God. Yeah, this is all. These are all Beatle items. Dolls. All the models still in their boxes.
Sheesh.
All the models are back here, still in their boxes. And
This is for when Yellow Submarine came out again a few years ago. Or
Yeah,
something.
right. These are the original. The lunch boxes are up here on the games, and the talcum powder from 1963. With, if you see the B, it's got an antenna on the B. That was their logo at the time. For Beatles, they had an antenna.
Oh.
I mean, not antenna. Yeah,
Like,
an insect.
like a bug,
Insect,
yeah.
Yeah.
The beat, you mean before they hit?
Yeah, before they hit in the U.S.
Okay,
Yeah, when
wow.
Beatlemania first started, they used to use a little antenna on the B.
How funny.
Back here is my library, but it's a mess.
Yeah, everything. It's incredible.
These are all Beatle books here. Things. And these are Beatles over here. Beatles over here. That's Rolling Stone magazine. They're down there. Everyone from #1 on. It starts down here. You can't see them down there behind these posters. Those are full of posters. But I've got also 16 Hit Parader. Oh, the teen magazines are up on top there.
Well, so what do you think the first 100
Now look at this.
Rolling
Look at this
Stones
Coca-Cola
are
stuff.
worth?
I started
You know,
collecting.
the original first
Yeah.
100
Yeah.
is selling a package
Number
deal.
one's worth a lot of money. But look at this Coca-Cola stuff. I just started buying Coca-Cola stuff at thrift stores about a year or two ago. Now I got all this crap.
Jeez.
All this.
Posters? You think he's got a few posters there? Look.
Well, the posters, see this in the closet back here? All those art boxes are full of posters. So are these. See, look here.
Jeez.
Here, look at this. Dylan. This all store displays and
Oh, this is like
stand-ups.
store-
These were all the store
Yeah,
displays?
and promo posters. And, you know, some are store regular, you know, public type sold posters. But, yeah, Dylan, Springsteen, various Beatles here. I got stuff signed just laying around, which I really should. Tom, frame this or else. Make it a proper wall. Ronnie Wood, 95. So I got
Look
stuff
at that.
signed.
Let me see that
I
again.
got stuff signed everywhere. There you go.
Yeah.
Wow, look at
There you
that.
go. Ginger Baker, signed.
Wow.
Is that an original
He
or is
slept,
that
you see the apartment you were just in? He slept on the couch there.
really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, isn't he a polo?
Polo.
Yeah, polo. And I Shelby did the polo.
Right.
I remember that. Well, so
Yeah.
this is that's funny. It says Tom, frame this or else, make it a proper wall.
Yeah.
That's great.
Anyway,
That's so funny.
kind of a
Wow.
mess here.
This is cool.
These are all posters in here.
So now-
I got to get them all together.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
you need
just so much work.
Yeah, archiving is a real job. So now, this is great. This is really something.
All right, let's go back out and I'll show you some more stuff. I'll show you my newspaper room. Back here.
Wow.
Back here.
Excuse me.
Now, these are baseball cards here from different years, but these are
Baseball cards
these are
or
all these here are all from World War II. Crisis in Europe is at hand. France rejects Hitler's plan. These are 1939. We hold
How
fast.
much
Chamberlain
longer the
says.
paper was back
It
then?
goes
They're
all the way
bigger.
through to
God.
you
Now-
know, D-Day and Pearl Harbor, everything, all the way to victory. Big four except Japs offer. It goes all the way through the war.
so these are all World War II or
Yeah,
just
World War II, all these, this stack. Yeah, back here, these are all Kennedy assassination, all of these, from all over. And then I got baseball ones, World Series ones, political ones, you know, presidential. I've got man landing on the moon, of course. I got Eisenhower's inaugurals. There you go. Eisenhower sworn in before 100,000.
Evening Star, remember that?
Yeah.
This is his second inaugural, Eisenhower. Kennedy sworn in. Bids for peace. Kennedy sworn in. Glenn orbits Earth. Astronauts fired into space, lands in sea, perfect flight. May 5th, 1961.
So that's the entire paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I try to get the entire paper if I can. This is a Cuban Missile Crisis. Arms blockade on Cuba. New York Times, October 23rd, 1962. There you go.
What the hell is this now?
LBJ tells nation he won't run, restricts raids on North Vietnam. They go back. They're too deep here. So you don't know what you're going to find back here.
God,
All
Tom,
kinds
yeah, I
of stuff. They go
mean,
too deep all the way down here. All the way down here.
all the way down here, too deep. And all this is your newspaper. Wow, look at that, President.
That's all assassination.
Is that's the
stuff.
Post? I've never seen.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's the extra edition.
Yeah,
There's,
extra,
There's
okay.
several different ones. There's another one. Oh, that's the same one. Kenny shot in Texas. That's the Evening Star. I got them from different cities. That's the Evening Star extra. Yeah, they're all in here. Man, anyway.
God,
More
Tom.
baseball cards.
Yeah. So this is baseball.
Yeah.
Now, wow. Huh. This is so.
This stuff over here, these are all Kennedy assassination books. Right here. They go too deep. These are all Kennedy assassin or Kennedy related. And Bobby Kennedy's up top there. This is my UFO book collection over here. There's a ton of them there, UFO. This is my World War II book collection. You don't want to see that.
Hey, it's a historic artifact, you
And
know.
these are all baseball down here. Everything's like too deep because I'm out of room here. Then I got my Kinky Friedman collection. I love him. And Hunter S. Thompson, of course. These are Hunter books up here. Just different political books and books I've read. All right, cut. Sit down for a second.
Man, I'm like, this is actually. I got to ask you guys. I mean, this is so.
Hey, Bruce, Lower Pop Festival.
Oh, let me see.
Oh, right.
This is the Laurel Pop Festival right here. Here's Cream. Those are the ones when I met you. These are the photos you were looking at.
Okay, cool.
God,
Yeah, look, you can see Laurel Pop Festival.
you kidding me?
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
All right, you gotta give me.
Those are Laurel Pop Festival. Check them out.
You gotta give me a few of these. Take them and scan them out.
Wow,
There you go. Laurel Pop Festival.
this is.
Laurel Pop Festival and Laurel Jazz Festival.
Right, so
This
here's
is what I sent away for the
here's when
tickets.
we were
You,
standing-
wait, you said.
This here, look. And that's what you wrote.
Oh,
Tickets good
wow,
for
man, I
for
gotta
one night
scan
only.
this
Tickets
stuff,
good for
please.
one night only.
Tickets good for one night. Now wait a
You have to
second.
buy it for 2 different nights.
So you basically, tell me about. I mean, this is there. Look at that thing.
Here's the setup of the stage and everything. You can look at that.
Wow, and that.
Here's the Woodstock one.
Let's get some light on this.
Getting beat up a bit, but there's the Woodstock.
That's
flyer.
the Woodstock. That's the Woodstock flyer.
Yeah, it's getting beat up. I see, but
Yeah, I got one of those. We were leaving, and there were like stacks of these things just sitting
actual
there.
Laurel Pop Festival.
Atlantic City Pop.
Atlantic City. I'm sorry.
That's the Atlantic City
Yeah,
Pop Festival. That's Bruce. So I'm like
Atlantic City Pop Festival.
that's the one.
flyer that they
Yeah,
sent me.
right.
I've got that on the website. Some guy sent me scans of this,
Yeah.
so I think I have the whole thing. Oh
You
man,
want
it's
to
still
take a
like
look
the
at it?
scan. I gotta come to your house
But
with my scanner.
here's what we'll do. We'll collaborate because we'll come here and scan
Yeah.
and get stuff for
Right.
dual purposes and then. But
Right.
this stuff is really.
So here's Paige backstage at Laurel
Yeah.
Pop.
Oh.
I was standing right next to
This
Beach. I
is-
was standing right there when he took the
Check
picture.
This is a roadie, and I said, Jimmy, can I take a picture? And he said, yeah. So I don't know who the roadie is, I just figured he's somebody. He goes, I'll take the picture of you and Jimmy. And I said, no, I'll take it. So I'm not in the photo.
Oh, no kidding.
Here's Paige.
Let me
Here's
see
It's a
that.
roadie.
Wait a minute.
See, here's Plant.
That's
They
backstage
were all
Laurel Pop
back
Festival.
by these U-Hauls and tents and stuff, and we were all
As you
standing.
recall, later on, Jimmy Page was balling some chick underneath the
remember
U-Haul.
that part.
I remember
And then
that.
Johnny
Underneath
Winter,
the
we
U-Haul.
went over. Here's Johnny Winter. We went over and stood and talked to Johnny Winter for a few minutes.
Wow. So Tom, now you brought your Instamatic camera.
Yeah, it was just a little
I got the
Instamatic
negatives.
kind of
I
thing.
can dig out.
Wow.
We could probably clean them up, too.
Yeah.
Well, I can
yeah.
sharpen them. I can do all kinds of things
I
once
got
I
all
get
the
them in my
negatives.
computer.
Wow.
I can fix the
I
color.
gotta see-
You
Yeah.
may recognize this.
I sure do. Yeah.
I sent it to Keith. I gave it to Keith down in Texas, and he watched it.
Is that right?
These guys, they correspond with me. They gave me that poster that day. I talked to them, the
Oh,
two
man, I gotta
filmmakers,
get
and
this on
they've
the
sent me
site.
cards and stuff.
That's
I
great.
wrote them a card and said, Keith's got it. He's going to watch it.
So Keith
Keith got a copy. They gave me 2 copies
Wow.
that day. I went the next day before they left the hotel.
Right.
They gave me the poster.
Wow.
They gave me 2 copies, and I said, I'll give it
Yeah,
to Keith.
that's a great film.
And they were nice guys.
Yeah, very nice
They're
guys.
really nice guys, and so
Yeah.
we've corresponded, not lately, but I did
Wow.
write them, and I said, Keith's got it. I gave it to him in Austin, Texas.
Oh, that's
Stones
great.
played.
All right, I got to come down to your
Well-
house one day when your girlfriend's awake, and I'll bring a scanner, and we can plug it in. I mean, if she says it's okay, we'll put it in her machine, and
Well,
just start scanning some of
this is
stuff.
great. Now I got it. So now,
You hit a gold mine, didn't you?
let me. I gotta ask you. I mean, this. You told me. You guys both met
In high school.
in high school,
Yeah.
and you said you bonded over music. It
Yeah.
sounds
Yeah,
like.
that was it.
Yeah.
Cream. He had pictures of Cream,
And
and we couldn't believe it because, back then you couldn't hear Cream on any radio station. Like Cream, Jefferson Airplane, Iron Butterfly, Doors,
Jeff Beck Group.
Jeff Beck Group. All these bands were like you had to seek it out somehow. You had to go know where it was or go get it.
An FM station or something. But-
Do you remember WASH in Wheaton played on Saturday and Sunday, or Friday
Yeah.
and Saturday night, just 9 to midnight, underground music they
Right.
called it.
Yeah.
And that was a show, and we used to listen to that, just 9 to 12, Friday and Saturday, and you'd hear Jefferson Airplane, The Doors, Hendrix, Iron Butterfly, all these groups. So when I was walking down the hall or something at school, somebody said, "This guy's got pictures of Cream." It was like, what?
I just gotten there.
Yeah.
My parents moved here, so I came down to live with them to finish my last year in school.
So we
I went
started
to Kennedy.
hovering around this guy, and he's got pictures of Cream and some other pictures. And
Hendrix
he said,
and
"Yeah, I just
Traffic.
saw him in New York." And from that day on, we were friends.
Yeah.
And that's it. We ended up in Woodstock together.
This was in 1960.
69. Actually, it would have been the fall of 68. It would have been around November 68 when I got there.
And that-
we met in November 68. Hey, we got an anniversary. Congratulations.
He called,
20 years this
he called
month.
me on the phone and said, "Hey, BR, the Hendrix and the Who are playing at some festival in New York next week. Do you want to go? I'm going to my aunt's house first in New York, and then we're going to go to this." And I was, I said, "Yeah, okay, I'll go." And my
Woodstock.
my dad took us to the BW Parkway and dropped us off, gave me an extra $50, and said, "Good luck." And we took. My mother didn't want us to go because she didn't want us to hitchhike. We were
We
hitchhiking.
stuck our thumbs out, and a state policeman came up.
Yep.
And he said, he pulled over and came out of the car, and he said, "Boys, I hope you're not hitchhiking. Hitchhiking's illegal on the interstates in Maryland." He said, "You see that exit? I'm going to go up to that exit and turn around and come back, and I better not see you guys here hitchhiking. You walk up that ramp and get out of here." As soon as he pulled away, we stuck our thumbs out. The first car that pulled over picked us up and took us right to my grandmother's door in Queens, New York.
Yeah.
As we're driving by, pulling out and driving down the road, we see the cop coming back down the ramp, going back looking for us.
Huh?
And we had to ride straight to her house in Queens.
So we went to we went to his grandmother's in New York, and then he said, "All right, we're going to go down to Greenwich Village and buy posters." And I was all excited because he had these posters. I said, "Oh, I want to get one of those, and I want to get one of those." And he knew his way around, and we went down there, and we wanted to buy some pot.
Yeah.
So somehow we hooked up with some guy on the street, and he's got a baggie, and he took a cigarette, and he like emptied out the cigarette, and he put it, and he like was sucking the pot up into the cigarette. We're just walking right down the street in Greenwich Village, and he goes, "All right, try it." And we were like, "Oh," and we took a puff, and then we gave him the money. It was catnip.
Yeah, we went to my grandmother's house. We went up into the attic. We smoked it and we started meowing. So
was
we thought we'd go
catnip.
back the next day to Greenwich Village and buy some real pot. We go and another guy on the street. He goes, psst, he takes us into a grocery store. They're bagging groceries and everything. He pulls it out. He's got no fear. We're like, geez, this is not cool, right? He
Yeah,
pulls it
we're a
out.
couple of 17-year-old kids.
He sells it to us. We go back to my grandmother's. We start meowing again. It was catnip.
So this was now you went. Was it Kennedy or Kennedy High School? So you guys were the only ones probably among, or were you that were really into this or were on top of
There was
this?
a group of people,
There was a group.
but there was other
Yeah,
people.
we all hung out in a group. There was probably 8 or 9 of us that used to.
But it was like, here's this guy, so we were just great friends from that day on, and we, thank God, because, if he hadn't called me to go to Woodstock, I probably wouldn't have gone.
No, I'm sure.
But you guys, now you hitchhiked up the wood. Now the thing is, the chronology though is you had already been to Laurel Pop, so that was the
Yeah.
And Atlantic City.
right. But the Laurel Pop thing kind of built was the in the middle of the summer, and then Atlantic City was, I guess, a few
got the dates right
it
here.
was a few weeks later,
Yeah.
and then after that. The Woodstock thing. What I'm fascinated with about Woodstock,
Atlantic
City. Here's the
Yeah.
These are the chronology here is you've got like Laurel Pop. I mean Laurel Pop was
There
first.
you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, Laurel was first.
Laurel was first, definitely. Laurel was, let me see the dates here.
That was like July.
The end of July.
Yeah,
right?
end of
Here we go.
July.
Yeah, it was, no, July 11th and 12th.
Right.
Was Laurel, and then Atlantic City was August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Right, and we got back from Atlantic City and turned around and went right to Woodstock, like the next week.
And then Woodstock was 15, 16, and 17 of August. Yeah.
Now-
But we took a bus. We were taking a bus. We just get on a bus and go upstate
On
New
my
York.
website, I have the ticket. It's New York City to Harriman, New York.
Yeah.
Short line, it says.
Right,
I got
right.
the ticket stub, and we took the bus, and we got off and
Yeah,
started
well, we must
walking.
have got 20 miles from Woodstock, and the bus driver says, "Everybody out, we can't move anymore."
And we made a sign.
yeah.
What was that
I
sign
don't know, had a
say?
peace sign on it and something.
We
Said,
made this fancy peace
Woodstock
sign or something. We painted it, and we left it on the bus.
Yeah, it was really nice too. It was really nice. It's an artifact.
That's so funny.
But
got
but then
that.
we had to start walking. We'd get rides, and on the hoods of cars, people be sitting on the back and the front, and you just be going slow. And I said, "Fuck this."
Yeah,
We just got off and
walk
walked.
ways, and then the cars would start moving. So people would
Right.
just hop up on a car, and everybody was hippies. So and then you drive for a quarter mile, and then they'd all stop again. And we'd get off and
Yeah.
start walking again.
So luck has it that we come up to the back of the stage. It's fenced in, and we don't have tickets. We were too cheap. We didn't have the money, right?
No, we didn't have
the money, so we figured we're going to crash this, right? I see all these people up at this gate, swarms, just a wave of people going through. I said, "Well, that's the gate where they're taking tickets." There was a chain link fence. We had a duffel bag. We had posters that we bought in the village.
Yeah.
I had canned goods and everything.
we had food,
We had enough for a
canned-
week because we were in New York for a few days earlier. So anyway, we throw it over the fence. We climb up, jump over the fence, and we
Cut ourselves and stuff.
And we two big smiles, and this hippie standing there sitting there smoking a joint, and he goes, "Hey man, it's a free festival. You could have walked in up there."
Yeah, he says everybody's just walking in right up there. He says,
We thought we're the only two who snuck in. but the good thing about it was right behind the stage, so we just went right up front, and we were up front for all 3 days.
we sat right under those towers. If you see the movie, there's two towers where the lights were. We were, if they're
Stage
on the
left.
stage, we were on the one on the right,
Yeah,
right
but
below
that stage
it.
left. Yeah, we were.
So that just happened. That was just your luck at it. That's where you came
went
out.
into the crowd. We were like even with the stage, and we
Stage
just
right,
sat down, and that was it. We sat there for 3 days.
Except for on Monday morning when all the people had to leave to go to thinned out, we were second, like right down on the stage, right in front of Hendrix.
When Hendrix is
Right
playing,
in
we're
front of him.
standing right there. So I've looked a million times at the videos and the DVD, freeze framing and looking at people
Yeah.
and trying to see beats and trying
If
to.
people say they can see us. Or
I don't
me.
know. I've never been able to
And
find
there's
us.
a picture in the Life magazine special of Woodstock that I've got somewhere that supposedly I'm in that too, but I can't find it.
Yeah.
That's so. You guys were 17 or roughly,
I
yeah.
was 17. I was
So
17.
were there other people your age there about, or was it?
But at Woodstock?
Yeah.
There were
I mean,
There was everything. There was
Yeah.
kids. There was everything was there. You saw the
hippie
movie.
families,
yeah. But
But there was some stuff like you see in the movie, people bathing in a lake somewhere. We never saw any. I never saw any of that.
Heck no, we were afraid to leave our spot. It'd take 5 hours to get anywhere.
We would
had to
take turns
tiptoe.
like going to the bathroom. So
Right.
one of us would leave to go get something to eat and go to the bathroom. So that was like a 2-hour
Yeah,
excursion.
we didn't want to lose our space. We had great viewing space.
And then he'd come back, and then I'd go off for
Yeah.
2 hours, wandering around looking for something to eat.
Yeah, you'd have to
and
wait an hour in line at a U-Haul truck to get a cheese sandwich.
And then after a couple of days, they were giving free food away, like rice and raisins and
Yeah.
nuts. The hippies came
That was
out.
the hog farm, I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
and they
were
started
braving them.
feeding people, so we
Yeah.
went and got some of that.
Then when we left Monday morning when the festival was over, as we're walking out, there are piles and piles of the Woodstock program.
Yeah, and this
I must have
thing's
gotten
tough.
50 of them, and I gave them away over the years. I've got one left.
Yeah.
I've got one left. They're going for big money now.
I know. I took a big stack
We
of
had
them. I remember
stacks of
at
them.
some point I cut them up and I
Yeah,
cut the
put 'em on the
pictures
wall.
out and stuff. Oh.
Yeah, I gave them away to everybody.
so now, but you had brought posters from Greenwich Village. I don't understand. How'd you keep those from getting ruined?
I don't know. They were rolled up in
They were
a.
rolled in
Yeah,
plastic
I
or
see.
something. Something
Okay.
in plastic back in
I
those
see.
days.
I see.
I had a
Yeah.
cream poster and a Hendrix poster.
Yeah. Well, I don't want this on the show, of course, but I want to tell you what happened to the catnip. We took it with us, and
Oh.
these hippies next to us saw us smoke. They were smoking, and they ran out, and I guess maybe we smoked it, or they asked
sold
us.
it to some other hippies at the
We
thing.
sold it, made a profit. We sold all the catnip, both stashes that we bought.
And I think they
made
loved
a
it.
profit. They loved it. They got high as shit, they thought. I said to him, I said, let's get out of here before they start licking themselves and scratching. But we just sat there. Yeah, so we got rid of it.
That's really great. You know what?
I don't think I want that on there.
No, believe me. The thing that's cool. Well, I'm trying to figure out. You bought the tickets for Laurel Pop in the mail.
I got them right here. I can
Yeah,
show you
but
the stuff.
so how did you get them? I mean, where would they sell them?
Well, here there was an ad in the paper,
Okay.
and you wrote to it, and they sent you the
So that was in
send
the
them a check.
paper. I see. So that and then
yeah. Then you can see the prices
yeah,
and
I've
everything.
I've seen that actually. I've got a
On my
scan.
website, I have my Laurel Pop Festival ticket. It says the company that produced it on the ticket somewhere.
Yeah, it was
It's on
the people that do the Newport Jazz Festival. They tried rock that year, and
Yeah,
they
right.
actually.
I don't remember where we actually bought the tickets.
There you go.
I can't
Here's
remember
some
that.
tickets: Cream, Hendrix, Laurel's in here.
Wow, look at that.
Oh, these are all stones. I
This is
think.
awesome.
These are all stones.
So you've got all.
Books of stones.
God, Tom.
I saw them about 400 times, but
Yeah.
I've seen them about 400. Yeah.
So
There you go.
so now the thing.
Here's Cream. Let me see what's in here.
Yeah, Cream
They're
at
falling
the
apart.
Baltimore Civic Center.
It's falling apart.
Wow.
Here's Laurel. Here's the Who, Led Zeppelin. What's this one? Laurel Pop Festival.
There it is, yeah.
Wow.
That's one of them. I got the other one somewhere here.
So that's Laurel Pop.
Mine, now see,
Here's
they
the other one.
tore
And I
off.
wrote on the back who played that day.
Wow.
You can see it on the back of this one too.
Really?
Yeah, I used to do that.
Who it's got you've got so that you all were there the one day.
I was there both. He was there one.
Oh, is
Yeah,
that
I
right?
just went
Oh
the
yeah, I
first
was there
night.
both. I was backstage both days.
Wow, so you got to see both shows.
Oh
And
yeah, I was
you-
right up front.
Yeah, see, my
Wow.
ticket, they tore this part off, so I have the whole thing that says Laurel Pop Festival.
Wow, this is great. So this is cool. So but you when you got backstage, I mean, it just
We just finagled our way back there. That's all.
Just act like you're supposed to be there.
Yeah.
That's, you just walk in. You could do it back then. I did it many times.
So, and then these things, these pictures
That's
are
Cream at
these
the
are
Spectrum in.
these are extraordinary.
That's Cream at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. I got Hendrix. I got some nice Hendrix on somewhere here.
And now, you tell me the story again.
There's the Who with Led Zeppelin opening at Merriweather.
Wait a minute.
I got
where?
2 chunks of the guitar.
Yeah,
Merriweather, May '69. I got chunks of his guitar. That guitar, I got 2 pieces of it.
That's
when he
Pete
smashed it.
Townsend.
Yeah.
And he's headlining.
Yeah, and,
at
this is the Who
Merriweather.
opening.
Yeah, and
this
the
is
opening
Led
act
Zeppelin.
was
And that's Led Zeppelin?
Yeah, I got better
Can
ones
I-
here. Let me see.
That's Zeppelin. That's Jimmy Page.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
How's that picture?
Wow, my good. That's Jimmy.
Yeah.
That's Jimmy Page on the stage at at
Merriweather.
Merriweather, opening for the Who.
Yeah, May '69. I got that ticket here.
Because Led Zeppelin's first album came out in
There he is.
January
Destroying
12th,
the guitar.
1969.
Wow, that's Townsend destroying the guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a he left.
I got 2
he
chunks
had
of it.
2 chunks of the
I
guitar.
still do. I still have them somewhere.
God, and so now, jeez, it's funny. You can't even get a sense of the. I mean, you're right there. It's almost like you're in a living room.
I'm in the orchestra pit.
God.
Yeah, I'm in the orchestra pit.
Did you?
Back then, you could jump around and get down there and
I used to just go anywhere.
and just take the pictures. People didn't care, before they realized, it became a big business, and then they stopped letting cameras in.
When the Dead and New Riders of the Purple Sage played at down at Lisner Auditorium downtown, I happened to be backstage right at the water fountain when they came in off their bus or whatever. I just tagged along, sat on stage. They didn't know they had like 30 people, 40 people. I just walked in with them. I sat on stage with them. I sat on stage with Traffic at Lisner.
Yeah, I was the me and Joanna, this old girlfriend of mine, at Georgetown University.
Yeah, right.
Everybody just piled on the stage, and I was standing right here.
that
And
was
he was
George
right
Weiss.
here playing his organ.
No, George, that's right. It was at
McDonough
Arena. I saw the Who there in November of '69. Boy, was
I
that
got a
great.
ticket from that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were at that too.
Yeah, the Who. That was great. I saw the Who.
November 6th. And you always took pictures, or most
Yeah, I
of them?
took a lot of them
Can I
back
see
then.
this one
Yeah,
again? No. You said this is at Laurel Pop.
Yeah.
And that's
a roadie.
That's-
And I came up to Jimmy and I said, Jimmy, do you mind if I take a photograph? And he said, no, sure. And the roadie said, here, I'll take it. You get in it with him. And I said, no, that's okay. And I was so free. I didn't want to.
You were freaked
Yeah,
out.
yeah. So when I get the picture taken, I go, who the hell's that?
So that's
a
roadie and Jimmy Page.
Yeah, and he offered to take the picture of me and him, and I.
We can get rid of him.
That's backstage at
Laurel.
Laurel. No, I think it's genius that he's in that. I mean, that's the story right
Yeah.
there. I mean, those are really.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just so amazing. I guess did you take and that's Robert Plant backstage?
Yeah.
At Laurel Pop.
Laurel,
At
yeah.
Laurel.
Standing in front of the U-Haul truck where they brought all the equipment in.
And I
with them.
guarantee I saw him later on underneath that truck with a girl.
It wasn't like it is now with big productions and they got 15 trailers
Well,
bringing
security.
the stuff. They just rented U-Hauls and dragged their stuff around,
Wow.
Sure, and these are all the newspaper articles here from Woodstock, I think.
This is so cool.
These
I
are all
mean,
the local Washington Post.
yeah, all the posts. So
Yeah,
from Woodstock,
Woodstock,
I
yeah.
guess. And there's Johnny Winter backstage.
Yeah.
So really, it was just like you said, it was a pretty loose, casual kind of a setup.
Sure.
And so Tom, yeah, look at that stuff.
10 years
This
after.
Is 10 years after.
Yeah, that's
And,
Al Cooper.
Al Cooper.
See, that was the second night. I didn't go the second night for I don't know what reason, but I didn't go.
Yeah, but I pulled the same thing. I just walked backstage and got around to the front of the stage.
Wow. Look at there's a drum 10 years after. There's the drum
Yeah,
kit.
yeah.
Now, how many people were at this? Was it a huge
I don't
crowd,
remember.
or because I don't?
It didn't seem to be.
So it's a tent. It's under a tent, or near a backdrop.
Well, they got
there. Oh, okay.
like a parachute.
Oh, okay,
line over
right,
for rain,
right,
in case it
right.
rained or something.
Wow.
Yeah, the stage was set up and the tents were behind it where
Yeah.
the performers stayed, and then the crowd was out in the middle. The whole thing was out in like the middle of the racetrack. Because I remember Plant singing "Squeeze My Lemon" and it echoing off the trees behind us. So the
Right.
trees were behind us.
The grandstand was behind the stage. People
Yeah.
were not in the grandstand. They were on the
Atlantic
middle of
City, it was the other way around. We sat in the grandstands
Yeah.
and the stage faced up at us. But at Laurel, they did it the other way around. I guess they didn't want us sitting in whatever reason, they didn't want us sitting there. They wanted us out in the middle of the field or something.
And so that's where I guess. Do you?
And we just walked around the side of the stage, and I just followed Tom, and we just walked back there.
Yeah.
And that was it.
That's so great. I tell you, this is like I'm buzzing. This
On my
is just like
webpage,
so great.
on my
to
webpage,
see.
I have pictures of the Allman Brothers Band at this little show they did. It was like 2 weeks before Dwayne Allman got killed.
Right.
And I just,
That was at AU.
No. This was at Marriott College. John Carbonero's girlfriend. It was the homecoming dance.
Oh.
And they had these guys. Anyway, there was this guy walking with a briefcase. He had these stickers on it. And I had my camera. This is when I first got my camera. And he was up on the stage. And then he got off and he walked back through the store. And I just followed him. And I just walked behind him the whole way. And there were roadies standing there. And all of a sudden he turns the corner. And we're in the gym, the locker room. And there are the Allman Brothers just sitting there. And they're listening to the World Series on the radio. And Dwayne Allman says, "Come on, well, let's do this thing." And I got a picture of him taking his guitar out of the case.
Right.
And Greg Allman said, "Hey, man, you're not supposed to be snapping that thing back here." And I just was like, I was a kid. I was just taking pictures. I was going nuts. So after that, I said, "Well, shit, if I can do that, I can sneak my way in anywhere."
They played American U in the old basketball court gymnasium, the Allman Brothers, with Dwayne for free, and about 400 people showed up. That was just a couple months before he died.
Concerts. We went and saw Chicago at American University. It was
used
like
to see
an
Quicksilver
outdoor thing.
Messenger Service and Poco. Everybody used to play
The
outdoors.
OJs. We did a thing there once. We went and saw the OJs.
So yeah, the concert. Now, did you go to? Did you guys go to like the Wheaton Youth Center shows?
Oh, yeah.
Who'd you see like Wheaton?
I saw Rod Stewart in the Faces there.
Yeah,
It was grin
we
opening.
went to that.
I filmed that too, but it came out dark. I also saw the Kinks at the Emergency downtown in Georgetown at the club on their first tour back.
Yeah, but the Wheaton Youth Center. All I
remember.
remember is that concert he just mentioned.
The Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart.
yeah.
That's now Led Zeppelin played there.
That's when I met Ronnie Wood for the first time, and Ian McLaughlin. That's how I became friends with him.
Really?
Yeah.
From the Wheaton Youth
Yeah,
Center.
that's how I met him.
and that was just a teeny little place.
Ronnie Wood was so pissed off because somebody stole his duffel bag that had his passport in it and his favorite jacket. And to this day, I always kid him about that. He never got him back. But somebody stole that at the Wheaton Youth Center.
But Led Zeppelin supposedly played there. I don't remember it. I thought I would have gone if
I
they
would
would
have
have
gone too, but people swear it happened.
I know. It's like a myth, a legend.
Yeah, they played there, I'm pretty sure.
Didn't you send me some link that had it on there?
Oh no, it's funny. That's like the big get for me is trying to get confirmation and actually talk to
I don't know
people.
anybody who was there, so...
There's one list I found of every Led Zeppelin concert, and they have all the tours and all the countries and everything, but it's not on that. But then you sent me a
I've got a
link.
book where it's listed.
You're right. And then he sent me a link where it is listed.
Yes, I got a book where it's listed.
So I don't know.
I don't know what happened, because we would have been there.
I know. That's what I always say. I
And
say,
I
if
can't
Led
find anybody
Zeppelin
that
was there,
but I think it happened.
we would have gone. But I just can't remember it.
You know, Bud Becker, who he promoted those shows with Barry Richards.
Right.
And Barry Richards is in California. Did you? Yeah.
Richards, yeah.
Yeah, and
Wow.
Bud
The boss
Becker.
with the hot sauce.
Yeah. He had me on his radio show back when he was on, what was it? Out in Gaithersburg.
Right, he had some little station he ended up on, and we used to go out to the concerts.
Because I had the Stones sampler for Let It Bleed before it came out, and he played it.
Yeah.
I went out.
Oh, really? You went?
He had concerts out there.
HMC.
Yeah, and he had concerts out there in this building or something.
I saw NRBQ there for the first time.
I can't remember.
Way back in '69.
I remember stealing
70.
posters off the wall there or something.
Well, why don't I have them?
So Barry Richards put on shows out in Gaithersburg?
Yeah, he was on this
at the
little radio station
right
when
in
he
the
got
field
fired
there.
from
In the field there.
WINX or something.
I saw, God, who was the cat with the long white hair? Cochran?
Joe Cocker?
No.
Leon Russell.
He was like a rockabilly star. He's from the 50s.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Wayne Cochran.
Wayne Cochran I saw there, I think. Yeah.
In the field at
Yeah,
HMC.
yeah.
And HMC, I think, stood for Heavy Music Company.
Yeah,
If I
something
think, yeah.
That was, I don't know, it was a little radio station in Gaithersburg or someplace out there, and he, I guess, got fired from his other job, and then he went there, and he did these concerts.
Yeah, so
these
NRBQ
things.
there in 1969.
I remember
New
making out
Rhythm
with
and
some
Blues
chick on
Quartet.
it.
God, but the thing is, so that's what interests me is how you had to kind of find spaces like the youth centers and church halls and high schools.
The Unitarian Church in Bethesda, they used to have concerts. Grin used to play there.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's, I mean.
But like the Who, we saw, the Who early on at Georgetown University in McDonough Arena. It was just a little basketball hall.
But we'd seen them before that at Merriweather. When Led Zeppelin opened, that was May of '69.
First time I saw the Who
November
was-
'69 was when they played in McDonough.
Yeah,
I
that.
know because I was doing pumpkin seeds mescaline, and boy, was that a hell of a show. We were all my college roommates. We were all doing these pumpkin seeds coated with mescaline, and boy, did we have a trip that night. It was fantastic. But I've got film of some of this stuff too. I've got to dig the film out.
God, that's amazing.
I've got film. Really good footage of one of the free concerts on the Mall with Hot Tuna and Alice Cooper.
On the Mall?
Yeah, for free.
At the Sylvan Theater, or where?
Yeah, I think that's no. I think it was in front of one of the departments of something. It was in some park. You know, it might have been in front of an engraving or something. I can't remember.
Oh, it was wasn't it for like a rock fest? Wasn't it for a concert film?
Yeah, it might have been. It might have been what, the Caravan?
I think so.
Or something. Yeah, well, I filmed them backstage. It was Hot Tuna, Alice Cooper. I can't remember who else, but I've got them walking around in the crowd backstage, and I've got some footage of Alice Cooper on stage. It was his first show here, and the first time I saw him was I went to the Toronto Pop Festival in Toronto in the summer of '70, and Alice Cooper was on the bill, and that's the first time I saw him. And then a few months, maybe weeks later, they played for free outdoors.
Yeah, but that's the thing, because this guy, they put on this, that's the thing. I mean, the idea of Led Zeppelin playing for like 50 people in the gymnasium in Wheaton is unbelievable. And
it only held maybe 100 people.
Yeah,
120
and
people.
what's cool is that the Wheaton Youth Center still looks the same.
Yeah.
So I'm planning to shoot a lot there, and kind of, because not just that show, but Led Zeppelin, but there were a lot of concerts, just like you said, Rod Stewart. Oh, hey, look at that.
It's Bob Berrick and Mills.
Wow.
The stage there was
May
just
28th.
2 steps up. It was like 2 little steps.
Is that right?
$1.50 in advance, $2 at the door, buddy.
So that's an authentic concert poster.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Look, and can you say direct from the Fillmore West in San Francisco, Washington,
That's when he met
D.C.
Springsteen. Springsteen's band was also on this showcase at the Fillmore.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, Bill Graham started Fillmore Records, and he was auditioning bands. And Steel Mill, Bruce's band, went out there. And that's when Mills and Bruce first met.
Wow.
But then, you know.
Yeah. That was but I know, because Gren, they played at all those shows, at all the concerts. Who's that?
John Lennon.
Oh, John Lennon.
Here's one of my
Do you
pictures.
see
right
these
here.
these here? These are full of photographs and negatives and slides. I've got slides the Stones took of each other on the airplane, like in '65, '66. The plane backstage that I got through working with the Stones. I got the original slides.
Is this one of mine?
No, that is
Because I got
Robert-
like this. It looks almost exactly the same.
that is at the I think that's at Annapolis at the Naval Academy. He played there in
okay.
He played there in '75 for graduation, and he played there in '76. Both years he did Anchors Away.
You know what? I think
With all the
what's
hats
his name
up.
was wearing the same
My
thing.
buddy Robert Friedman took that photo.
That guy, because I think, because I remember that people were starting to see, that's when Springsteen was really catching hold. My cousins were going, because they lived in Annapolis, and that's where I first heard about.
You see these here? These are all signed to me. Bonnie Raitt, You're My Favorite Beach. That's George Harrison. Fogerty. There's Nils back here. Nils. Southside. These are pictures of Bruce. These are all signed. Rick Lowe. Dave
Look at that
Edmunds.
picture of Springsteen. That's a long time ago.
Wow. Tom, is that you?
Yeah.
That's you with
Bruce.
Springsteen. But look
78.
how young Springsteen looks
1978.
there.
Yeah,
Wow,
me too.
wait.
I still got that T-shirt. by the way.
And that's you with Gary Talent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's at my house.
Look,
Yeah.
see, with the same deal with the records and
This is
the
Ivan
films,
Neville at my house.
So
Southside Johnny.
now, funny. Now, Bruce, you said something funny when you said that this is just like Tom's room 40 years ago.
Yeah,
exactly.
it's always been like this.
Look, here's the picture to prove it. I mean, look, you got the things. If you could turn around in that picture, there'd be all this crap would be there, you know.
Here you go, check this.
And I say crap in a lovely, in a
sure.
good way, you know.
These are all signed albums. Clapton, Ginger Baker, Ronnie Spector, who I dated.
You dated?
Went out with her for a while.
Wow.
I met her through Southside Johnny.
Wow.
And
To Tom, Lou Reed.
yeah, Lou Reed. There's Dennis Wilson. That's signed. You can't see it. But these are all signed photos of Stones.
Man.
This is a contract Jagger signed for a radio interview.
Really?
Yeah. Permission radio. This is Keith's note to Barbara Sharon, who did a biography on him. And that's a note he sent her after he read the book.
And what's that written in
Check this
crayon?
here, check
What is
this
that?
here.
It's like a
he was
felt.
probably halfway gone. by
Check
that
this
day.
one, Keith. Yeah, this one here. It's the Stones. It was signed at Carnegie Hall when they played the first show. It's got Mick, Brian, Keith, and Bill. And the reason the guy who got it signed originally didn't get Charlie was because he was setting up his own drums.
You're kidding.
Yeah, that's before.
Look at this. Here's some. This is cool. This is Mick Jagger, and that's, I guess, is a picture of him doing that autograph
Yeah, it
right
is.
there.
Oh,
Yeah, it
wow,
is.
how funny.
And then this is pick one that looks like me, man. It's Ronnie and Keith signed this. One Love, to Tom, Keith Richards, Ronnie Wood.
That's amazing. I tell you, it's like this is like, you know, literally a treasure trove. But it's like everything's got a story. That's what I love. That's what I find so remarkable
Here's my
and
Stones pinball
interesting.
machine, but you can't see it. I got to hook it up.
Oh, that's a
Pinball
Stones
machine.
pinball, really?
And I've got a jukebox, which is over at Dick's in the basement. 64 Rockola, the first stereo, where you can see the 45 and it lights up, and you can display the picture sleeves. I
God.
gotta get that out of Dick's.
So-
So I gotta make room first.
But now the thing is, but again, it's like it was such a different time because not only could you take concerts, not only could you take pictures, but you could also,
Mingle and talk.
mingle and talk to them.
Performers.
It's like you said, and the roadies. There were no roadies. It's like they set up their own band. Did you go to the Stone? I mean, were you going to like the Beatles at Uline at the Washington Coliseum or?
Yeah, I saw him at RFK. It was called DC Stadium then.
Yeah, it was called DC.
In '65. The first one I didn't get to. I was 10 or 11 or whatever. I was a little too young. And then when they came back in '65, I went
Yeah.
to see them at the. It was all screaming, and they were, you couldn't hear anything, but there they were. I mean,
I've
it
got
was-
photos of the Stones down at the Uline.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No
I've got
kidding.
photos from '65.
But did
and
you
the
go-
ticket stubs? No, I was in Europe.
Oh, okay. I see.
I bought them when I bought collections.
The
I
Circle,
see,
they
yeah.
did Red Rubber Ball open the show for the
Yeah.
Beatles.
Written by Paul Simon.
Is that who wrote that
He
song?
wrote that song. I've got Paul Simon doing it. Simon and Garfunkel doing it live on tape.
Wow.
Did you guys go to the Alexandria roller rink?
Sure.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Jeff
played there.
Beck opened the show, or no, Jethro Tull opened the show for Jeff Beck.
Yeah.
And we saw B.B. King, and
I can't remember. I remember seeing Humble Pie there.
I got the ticket stubs on my website. I've got a bunch of Alexandria Roller Rink ticket stubs.
I think Alice Cooper played there too. I can't remember. I've got to go through my book of ticket stubs. I've got all of them.
Yeah.
All these bands were they were new and they were still trying to make it. So they were, they would talk to you. They would, they weren't gigantic superstars yet. All this was new, all this stuff, this rock band and this kind of rock band, with Led Zeppelin and these groups. It was all new stuff, so I guess they didn't know any better, whatever,
That's just, and that's kind of my whole premise is it was before concerts and before rock and roll even became this corporate industry.
Right, exactly.
Before it became taken over by corporations. And that's what fascinates me, and that's because I feel like there's the fans, collectors, and then there's the musicians, of course, and then there's the DJs and the promoters.
Yeah.
And the people that were and the reviewers, the press. There's all these distinct, different kind of stories that I can tell, and that's like Bud Becker's the guy I've talked to who he's actually selling contracts. What's interesting, you can actually go on eBay,
Go up.
like he's selling at Ian Matthews Wheaton Youth Center concert right now. Ian Matthews played at Wheaton.
He's got, the tape of it or
No, he's
something?
actually playing selling the contract that he, with Ian
Oh, the
Matthews.
contract.
Yeah, the
Oh,
actual
okay.
contract.
And
So,
Now, if somebody had a contract with Led Zeppelin or something.
believe me, I'm like, I can't get confirmation. I mean, I'm thinking of calling it Led Zeppelin Played Here because it's so unbelievable, and I have to get somebody
Barry
to.
Richards, I guess.
Well, he's the one who he's talked to Mark Obsosnik, who I've told you about. He told him that he told Mark that it happened, but Bud Becker, who did all the Wheaton shows with Barry, doesn't have any recollection of that.
See, that's the same thing. I don't remember it at all, What about Wheaton Youth Center itself? Is there any records?
No,
the county has records?
the county doesn't. I'm working with Park and Planning to actually, and they're cool with what I'm doing, but they don't have any records. There's nobody who has any
I guess
actual.
there's nobody around that used to
buddy
work
mine's coming
back
by.
then that's still around.
Bud Becker's trying to find the manager, a woman named Sharon. Do you recall a woman named Sharon at the Wheaton Youth Center who was the manager at all? Somebody who,
Yeah, I do remember.
Do you remember? You don't remember her last name, do you?
No, but I know somebody who could tell you.
Really?
Yeah, I can find out for you.
Would you do that?
Yeah,
Because
I'm pretty sure I know somebody. Whoops. Dick Bangham's coming by.
he is?
He hasn't seen it.
Dick's coming?
I've had this for...
Dick's
Yeah.
coming. How funny. Do you know Dick?
Yeah, he's...
Wow.
Hello.
Dick's, an old pal. I mean, we've worked on we have a pretty strong hiry, he and I. So
No, he hasn't been here.
how
but,
funny.
come around
Dick's
the
coming
side.
over. How funny.
Closing
I got to get a
coming
tape
back.
in. That'll be great.
Okay, because they've got 2 dogs
Put
upstairs.
a link on my website.
Yeah, they're little.
Yeah,
the
to the-
Nils Lofgren stuff.
Oh, yeah,
Page
yeah.
and
Oh,
to the
thanks.
YouTube videos.
Great.
You know,
Good. Thank you.
Just come
Yeah,
on.
those.
Ambassador Theater
Right.
stuff.
Wasn't that cool? Wasn't that? Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Because, that's what I'm trying to do with my page is get all kinds of, old stories and things like that on there. And I sell the pictures, but I don't charge anything for
Right.
people to go to the page and look
No,
at it.
sure. No, I love that that ambassador thing. That's kind of what really galvanized me to keep going and doing this.
I used to have the poster for Hendrix there.
Really?
Yeah.
Tom, I did this ambassador reunion last year.
Yeah.
That's where that's what got me going on this whole path and doing all this research.
Well, I have to spend some time because I can pull out boxes of stuff. I mean, you won't believe.
You can spend a week down
Oh,
here.
Yeah.
easy. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
Dick will coming over here.
That's cool. So Dick's back. I
You can move
thought.
this stuff if you want to sit down.
Sure,
I don't know
sure.
if you're still filming or.
Oh yeah, actually, well, that's the thing. It's like it's been like.
You might miss something.
I'm gonna exactly. I mean, I haven't seen. You got to show me your pictures, Bruce, at some point. Because this is like. Yeah,
How long am I?
Where? Oh, the pictures are right there, and that.
Oh, okay.
Where's my camera bag? You remember where I
this
put
was well
that?
done, by the way. Otherwise, I wouldn't have sent it to Keith. Or
Oh, wasn't that a great
I really
film?
liked it. I got to watch it again sometime.
Yeah. No,
They
it's
gave me a copy. I haven't watched it.
no,
since I saw that
it's a
movie.
real. Well, I was the one who flagged it. I'm the guy who found
you
it.
introduced
Yeah,
him and all.
and I thought this is a great film.
Great.
And and
It's right up your alley.
Right, yeah, exactly. And it won Best Music Film at the Fest because those guys did a great job.
Yeah, you can sit down if you want.
What was that?
And so I get an email like 5 years ago from this guy in Russia. He says, I'm writing a book about Led Zeppelin and I want to use some of your pictures. So, at this point, I took him 25 years ago. I said, sure, what the heck. I said, just give me credit and send me 2 copies of the book. So 2 years go by, I forget all about it. I emailed him some pictures, my address and everything. So all of a sudden in the mail I get this package from Russia one day. And that's my picture, Led Zeppelin. It's all in Russian. And and there's a bunch of pictures in here he used too. That's one of mine.
Oh my God, look in color. That's great.
And he used like about 5 or 6 pictures of mine. And he sent me the books.
That's nice.
And then I get another thing happen with another guy. And this is
What's that?
this is about the occult, and Jimmy Page, Led Zeppelin, about how they were into the occult or something. I don't know. I think it's all BS.
Aleister Crowley.
Yeah. So this guy does a whole thing about Aleister Crowley and Led Zeppelin. So he used a bunch of my pictures too, and he autographed it to me. But that's my picture. So I get this book from this guy.
That's great.
I mean, it's a pretty thick book too.
That's so funny. That's really cool.
And then here's another one. Some guy. This is a German magazine.
I'm gonna stand over here, Bruce.
Yeah, go ahead.
right. What's that? This is a German.
This is a German magazine, and they emailed me and said they wanted to use a picture too. And that's my picture there.
Now these are from the Cap Center.
Yeah, it's good. See, this is something I guess they were doing now, and these guys wanted to have a picture of them, an old picture of them. See, it's all in German.
How cool.
And I just brought a few pictures and stuff. Here's when me and Beach were there, front row. That's Keith.
That's Rolling Stone 75.
Yep. July 1st and 2nd.
That's Keith. Here's Led Zeppelin 77.
Now, how did you get up front? Were you just walked around?
I snuck down front and got a seat like in the 7th row, and some girl said, my boyfriend's sitting there. I said, well, when he comes back, I'll move. And 15 minutes later, he came back, but I saw another seat even closer, so I jumped over to that seat, and I sat there the whole show, and nobody ever came.
They never came back?
And here's some of the pictures. Here's Jimmy Page. This is black and white.
Jeez. Now they did like a 7-night stand there, if I'm not mistaken.
4 nights.
4 nights, and maybe they came back or something.
Springsteen.
Wow.
And I don't know. I used to just get down front. Really. These are color copies of.
That's Jimmy Page and
Robert Plant. Yeah.
Same from that '77.
Yep. I mean, it was third row or something. Yeah. There's Pete Townsend, Capitol Center. I'm pretty sure. There's another Jimmy Page. Here's David Bowie at the Capitol Center.
Yeah.
There's Van Halen. I have a ticket on my webpage. It's The Doors, $2.50. That's Van Halen. This is in 1980 when they were first,
Where was that?
Capitol
Oh,
Center.
at Cap Center. Were they opening for somebody, or was
that was
were they
when
headlining in '80?
Yeah, they were the big thing at that point. Here's another great shot of Plant. This one, here's another one. I sold a lot of these. People like that one. Page playing his Les Paul. Police.
So what I like, and the thing is, it's like you could chart. It was interesting to watch on your webpage how everything went from a variety of places to all of a sudden the Capitol Center.
Center's everything.
It was all the Capitol Center.
There's Pete Townsend up in the air. Here's Robert Palmer at the Warner Theater. Not the Warner Theater. I don't even remember where it was.
Robert Palmer.
Sneak and Sally through the alley.
He played at the Cellar Door. I saw him at the Cellar Door.
Did you?
That was great. First album.
Here's a Clapton. Capitol Center. And this is all that is.
Wow.
Now it's just a few I grabbed.
Did you ever get candid? You never got backstage or anything, or I guess you never got credentials or had any.
Not for this stuff.
Yeah.
That'd take the fun out of it.
Yeah, really.
Around. But it kicks me that I didn't start taking pictures till about '73. That if I would have known what I was doing and taken them like at Woodstock, can you imagine if I would have had my 35mm camera and all my lenses at Woodstock? I would have had unbelievable pictures.
I wonder
But I was a dumb kid. What did I know?
I wonder if they were like.
Too much catnip.
I wonder if there was any official photographer at like Laurel. I haven't found, because there's people who were photographing like at Woodstock, of course, and maybe Atlantic City.
Washington Post might have.
Yeah.
They don't have any. No, he's not there anymore now. Yeah, but Carl Bernstein actually did the review.
Right.
And he did a really negative review. He hated Led Zeppelin, and he actually. But he wrote. There's a review, but nobody. There wasn't any photographer assigned, and
So I might have some of the only photos.
you could. I swear to God, you might. I mean, but it's really. But see, that's what's really cool, because you can actually. That'll translate. I mean, I believe you can do a whole documentary just from oral history. Yeah. But when you try to get it on television, or they need right, exactly, right, exactly. So
we got a few.
No,
you have the equipment to take like his old 8mm movies and transfer it to.
Oh, I could do that. Sure, yeah. Absolutely.
A lot of it's dark and out of focus, but
they can do all kinds of stuff nowadays.
No, I think it doesn't even matter, because look what they did with that film.
I've got the Who on film I took at Merriweather in 1970 when the live album came out, live at Leeds, and they played there, and the traffic was backed up like 5 miles or 10 miles on 29.
Yeah,
everybody crashed the fences. I was down like in the 9th row, and I've got Super 8 film of them.
That's when they stopped having concerts there because it got to be too much.
You mean at Merriweather?
Yeah, they were.
At some point they said that's it. We're no more.
That's why they built the second fence.
Because so many people would show up and then they'd all just come in, and not go through the gates and stuff.
Yeah, and climb the fence.
That's what's see, and that's another interesting thing, because I'm talking to Bud Becker. There's a term, I guess, bogarting the show is what he said, and was where people would not pay. It was like a badge to not pay, and they believed that music should be free.
People.
Yeah, like when you saw Woodstock and you saw what happened there, then all the hippies think, well, then it's free everywhere,
If enough of you show up.
Yeah.
So people used to. So Merriweather stopped doing rock shows.
For a lot of years, yeah. That was a big thing. It was like no more concerts at Merriweather
Elton
anymore.
John there.
We used to
Well,
have to go
I
to like
saw.
Baltimore Civic Center. We used to go to. There was a Painter's Mill. There was
I saw Elton John open for Leon Russell at Painter's Mill on his first tour.
there was a Shady Grove music fair in
I saw
Shady
Derek and the
Grove.
Dominoes there.
Saw a lot of concerts there.
Derek and the Dominoes played Painter's Mill, and they played one of the colleges. I saw them like 3 nights in a row.
No, we saw them at American University in
Right.
Lisner Auditorium, and
Right.
Mills was sitting 4 rows behind us.
Right, right. And then they played the next night. They played, or the night before, they played Painter's Mill, and I went there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, at Shady Grove, I just remembered I saw Cheech and Chong, and the opening act was this new band called Steely Dan, and they had their original singer with them, the guy that sang on the first song they did, and then they got rid of him, and the other guy took over the singing.
Well, I can tell you who, and Shady Grove in the winter or fall or winter of '69, I guess it was around December, so it was the winter. The Allman Brothers opened up for, what was that band in Motown, the white band that did Are You Ready?
Rare Earth.
Rare Earth. Allman Brothers' first show in town here, they opened for Rare Earth at Shady Grove.
Wow.
Wow. When was that? Like
That was 1969, it was like November, or probably December '69, might have been January, it was around the holidays, I remember.
Yeah, that was a neat place to go to concerts. But there was lots of places we used to go to, and then they built the Capitol Center, and then everything was there.
Yeah, it went
Because
corporate.
by then it was big and corporate, and it was a big deal. But
And we went opening night, the Who opened it. The Who opened it.
The Who were the first.
concert for us.
In fact, if you know this, I just happen to have it here because somebody wanted to buy this from me. Odds and Sods has, this is the Capitol Center when the Who played. This is open night.
Are you
The
serious?
reason this guy wants to buy it from me is his brother's down here. This is his brother, one of these guys.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's the Cap Center.
That is the Capitol
Yeah,
Center.
1973.
Does it say Capitol Center?
No, it doesn't. It just says North American Tour. But this is the Capitol Center. You can see. This is the Capitol Center. They were the first act to
Wow,
play
you
there.
can tell.
They were
You
the
can
first-
tell. That how funny! I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
The insert of Odds and Sods.
Who has all
was
the videos from the Capitol Center that they shot over the years? If somebody has like that
I got
collection
Springsteen.
somewhere, there's Springsteen, there's
I got,
Led Zeppelin, there's
I got-
everybody.
I've got the New Barbarians, Roddy Wood's band with Keith. That was a great show.
Oh yeah, we went to that.
Yeah.
That's right, the New Barbarian. Because I got a picture. Somehow we got around back or something. Because I got a picture of the mixing board, and it's got like Keith, and it's got each guy's name
Oh,
and
I'd like to
stuff.
see that. I don't
And
remember.
with the on the mixing board.
Yeah.
So you but that thing was that was literally the opening. Now that was the first event at the Capitol Center.
First event.
The first event was the Who,
Who.
concert. Wow.
Yeah. And that's what that photo's from.
I thought it was the Allman Brothers, or were they like
Nope.
like right after that?
I
Or
think they were the next one.
okay.
Yeah.
First concert I think I saw there was Johnny Winter in '73.
Headlining?
Yeah,
That's
Johnny Winter.
impressive.
Yeah, he was.
Now, didn't he play, or Edgar Winter's White Trash played Alexander Rollering?
I don't remember that one, but yeah,
there were a
he
bunch of
probably
shows.
did.
I can't remember.
Did you ever go down to that great McGonigal Seaside Park or something down in Annapolis where they had concerts?
Yeah, I don't know whether that's what it was called, but we did go to Annapolis a couple of times. But it was more like local bands, is the way I remember it. But maybe it was a different place or something.
And
Oh, I've got some footage of the
Something
Peace
on
Street
the
Park,
beat, in the
concerts,
bay
too.
there.
oh,
When they
okay.
used to have the free ones at Peace Street Park, I've got some footage
Wait a
of that.
minute, they
Green
did
and stuff.
have big bands there. We went and saw. Who did we see there? No, I haven't thought of this in 30 years.
I gotta look through my ticket stub to find out who I saw.
I can't remember. But there was something, I don't know whether it was McGonagall's or something, but there was some place up in Annapolis or some place by the bay, and there was a park, and there were concerts there, and we went a few times to see somebody.
It was called Cars Beach, which was an R&B place, and then when they stopped doing the R&B shows, they like Mike Shriveman took it over or started doing his concerts there.
But you got to remember, there were times where we'd be sitting around on a Saturday, and everybody's stoned, and somebody says, "Hey, there's a concert at something up in Annapolis," and we don't just get in the car and go, and not even knowing where we were going or who was going to be there, and
I remember seeing Roy Buchanan's first show outside after he left the Crossroads. He played McDonough. I had
Oh,
the
really?
poster for it, but I sold
Oh
it.
yeah, I think that's where that guy Tom Zito or his friends put it on.
Yeah, I was
You
there.
know, were you?
I had the poster. I sold it years ago, traded it or something.
But yeah, I'd love to get one of my goals is to get like Nils and Bob Berberich to come. I guess like do a interview.
Yeah, I just saw Bob the other night.
Did you?
Yeah, they played once a month at
Oh, the Quarry House,
Quarry.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think his birthday, because I did look. It's like he's got a birthday concert at the end of December.
Yeah.
And he and I'd love to. I don't know if Nils comes back east.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Is that right?
You can get through. Taking Linda.
That's right,
He was
yeah.
in the hospital. He had double hip replacement.
Nils did?
Yeah.
Really? Huh? Wow. I didn't know. Wow. So I guess he's
He'll
not.
tell you when he gets there.
Yeah.
The whole let that
Jeez.
go down on that.
I didn't realize he had bad hips, or I guess it just.
Well,
that jumping
trampoline
around.
and
Oh, okay.
acrobatics, gymnast. He was a gymnast in high school and all that. First time I saw him, you and I went with Vince Fabrizio. This is when I first
Wow.
met you. It would have been November '68. You said there's a band playing, a really good band, a great guitarist. His band was called The Shot, and they were playing at Einstein High School, and he had his arm in a sling and a cast. And I still kid him about that. I said, you played guitar that night better than I
Mills?
get. Yeah, you played guitar
Yeah,
better
I
that
don't-
night than somebody with 3 arms. First time I saw him, it was The Shot. We went to Einstein High School.
I remember Vince Fabrizio and Einstein. I don't remember that though, but I mean, it's
Yeah,
definitely
the
possible.
3 of us went.
Wow.
That's the first show we went together.
I talk to Vince every once in a while. Yeah.
Yeah. Who was that long-haired hippie I used to hang around with from Kennedy that nobody liked? Remember the long hair? He took me one night to the cellar door. We saw Albert King. There was nobody in the place. It was amazing.
There was some
That's when I first got
did he
here. I
live
didn't
next
know
door to me?
where to go or nothing.
Did he live next door to me in those
I
apartments?
know he was real quiet, and most people didn't like him. He had real long
Yeah.
hair.
It was the guy that lived next door
Yeah,
to
he
us
might have.
in the apartments. It was like one of the first persons I knew that had real long
Yes,
hair.
that was him. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like one of the first people we knew that, and he smoked pot, and we hadn't started smoking pot yet and everything, and this guy was like, wow, you know.
Yeah, I used to hang out with him when I wasn't hanging out with you.
God, but Nils, because I really feel since he played at all these different joints, and I know Bob's local, and if Nils and he would get together and talk
Sure.
about that
Yeah,
stuff,
sure.
I think that'd be really hip.
That would be good.
I'm
So,
going to put a thing on my page that says, do you remember Led Zeppelin at the Wheaton Youth Center?
yeah, it's like people, there has to be some kind of
I don't know
confirmation.
what Led Zeppelin made back then, but how could they come to the Wheaton Youth Center that held 100 people maybe and
They needed
$2
gas
a
money.
ticket? They wouldn't make enough money
They
to
needed
pay
gas
for
money, and
them.
they had an open night.
I mean, that just
I don't know.
doesn't seem like...
Maybe they owed a favor to somebody, promoter.
Anytime anybody ever mentions that, I always say, look, if I would have known about it, if it had happened, I would have gone. Me and Beach would have
We
gone.
lived in Glenmont. We grew up. Everybody we know, nobody. I don't know anyone who went there. And
Right.
Out of we knew everybody who lived in
And we
that
were
area.
right there.
They hung out there.
We lived half mile down the road, you know.
Yeah,
So I mean,
walking
it was
distance.
That's extraordinary that nobody.
Of course, at that time, I think I was in Tacoma Park. I was in college, so I wasn't living down the street then.
But it's just
But I still would
amazing
have
that
known
this,
people that went.
You would, and nobody you know has
I've
ever
never
told
met
you.
Never met anybody
who's
out
actually been there. So I think it's just some kind of myth, or it got on some list at some point, or maybe they were gonna play there at some
You know who
point.
to
or-
talk to,
Who
Surf.
knows?
I tried.
Sir, I talk to him all the time.
Is that right? I said Surf the ambassador reunion I did,
Yeah.
and I told him, actually, I didn't pointedly ask him about Led Zeppelin. I just said to him, hey, I'm doing this project, because I was thinking he'd be cool to interview, and maybe he didn't want to really commit to it, or maybe since we've never met, and
I know him, really.
yeah, we'll ask him
I
again.
used to sell him bootlegs when he was at HFS.
Is that right, really?
Stones, Dylan, Beatles, Bonnie Raitt, Little Feat.
Yeah, he'd have a lot of information.
Well,
No, he always says, I've heard him several times on his radio show say they played there. But he heard from somebody else who told him. He wasn't there.
and that's the thing.
But I'd like to know who told him.
Right. Well, because he said that he just kind of said, "Look, I can't remember anything." That was back before my radio days.
Yeah.
He didn't really want to, because I would love to sit down with him and get his memories of stuff.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that elusive Led Zeppelin thing, that's the big get. Because I'm going to try to talk to, I think his name is it Richard Cole.
You know the girl, the manager. He says he can get a hold of her. So
I think
do
I know
that
somebody knows her, yeah.
and get a hold of this.
Yeah, if
person.
you could get me, her name was Sharon, and like you said, she was.
I remember her anyway.
Yeah,
I don't know,
and she was with Park and Planning. And the story I have from the promoter, Bud Becker, is that that things all kind of went south when they had Iggy Pop there. Because, did you go to that show or anything?
I don't remember that one either.
Iggy
I
Pop.
wasn't into Iggy much.
Yeah, Iggy Pop was at the Wheaton Youth Center, and apparently, did his full Crazy Act.
Yeah,
And,
that'll end things.
and I think they were like, they had a real problem with that afterwards. So like the park and planning.
Get the basketballs out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a little room. You'd walk up, it was a wood floor, you'd walk up, and the stage was just 2 steps. And then you're on the stage. I mean, there was no...
It was a basketball out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's people still play basketball there.
Yeah, sure.
They play there now, you know. So
Yeah, all I remember is seeing Small Faces and Rod Stewart. You know, that's the only concert I can remember going to there. Now I might have gone to some others, but I can't remember.
but that was inside. It was actually.
Yeah, I'm really bummed about that because I was sitting right in front, right, you know, like you said, 2 steps down from Woody and Rod Stewart, right in filming it. It was too dark.
Wow.
Didn't
But
come out.
if there's any kind of image on that film
I don't even have it
nowadays, they
anymore.
might be able to.
Oh, is that right?
Black.
Wow.
Yeah, they developed it wrong or something.
So the Rod. So yeah, you're saying. So you. But that Rod Stewart. So it was on stage. Now he was with Faces. I mean, yeah. So.
Yeah, I've got that ticket stub.
Before Jeff Beck,
I've got that ticket stub. That was June of '70.
Oh, was it?
or that was after Jeff Beck.
It was June of '70. I saw Jeff Beck group several times at the Fillmore. I saw them in '68. I've got
Well, we
photos of
saw
that.
him in Alexandria with Jethro Tull, and Rod Stewart was just the singer in the band then. You know, it was a Jeff Beck group with this guy Rod Stewart. You know.
I think wasn't there a concert like at the at one of the schools like the community college or
I'll tell
something?
you one concert I saw, T.C. Williams, the Kinks, and they were drunk on stage, and the cops came and told them they couldn't have any beer on school property, and there was almost a big fight, and they wouldn't get off, and they wouldn't take their beer off. That was T.C. Williams High School, Alexandria, the Kinks.
Now I remember going to American University, had these like free concerts outside in the summer. We went and saw Chicago, and I can't remember, the OJs or somebody, and there were some other ones, but I can't remember. This is kind of like on a Sunday or a Saturday, everybody just piles in the car and goes. And American University outside on some field or something, and they were free concerts in Chicago. I had a couple of pictures of the guys in Chicago. I don't know where they are.
What was the old basketball arena on Route 1, Maryland? I saw the Kinks were supposed to play there, and they canceled. And the Youngbloods played. The Youngbloods played there. I saw Jay Giles there.
Richie Coliseum.
Richie
the
Coliseum.
original Richie Coliseum.
I saw a great show there when Volunteers came out. The Jefferson Airplane played there, and they tore the place down.
Yeah, there was.
They played there. Yeah, Richie. There was a lot of good shows, and also there were outdoor shows in Maryland. I remember Quicksilver Messenger Service playing for free at the high rises. At the
Really?
dorms. Yeah, out in the field there.
Oh wow.
With Dino Valenti. Yeah, that's when.
Yeah, there was all kinds of concerts, all kinds of places back then. You know, they were just.
I can't get over them being in like high schools. I mean, who would bring the Kinks?
With cases of beer on stage, and the cops tried to stop it.
But Kennedy, some British band played once.
I don't remember that. I might not have been there.
It's in some yearbook I saw once. God, who were they? I can't remember now. My mother wouldn't let me go for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, I was still 12 or 13 or something. I don't remember. But I remember wanting to go see this British band at. I think it's in the yearbook I have actually.
Yeah.
I'll have to go look.
And then so the like yeah, what would that be? I mean, that's just amazing. What would that be like with like soup? All of a sudden, you're in this high school and you're trying, and there's like chaperones.
Well,
and
the bands back then, it wasn't like it is now. It's not a big business, so they're trying to make it any way they can. They would play anywhere they could play just to get people to see them and notice them and, you know, buy their records and stuff, you know.
and
All about promotion.
There was no videos. You had to buy the record or go to the concert for them to make money. There was none of these other sources like you have now. So it's...
Yeah, they really made their money in concerts. They don't make much on the records, you know that.
yeah,
Dick should be here soon.
Dick's coming.
He'll
Hello.
be here any minute.
Hey,
What do you think of this place?
I'm just sitting here watching the wheels go round and round. Can I call you later? I'm shooting. Yeah. Oh, are you? Oh, okay. All right.
Talk about that.
This is great. I love it here.
Yeah.
Hey, Rachel, let me call you later. Can I call you later? Okay, thanks. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.
You have a big house by now.
Wow, this is
In one place.
so.
I don't like
This,
roots.
so yeah, Tom, this is really. So you
I rent the bottom.
you rent the bottom. Okay. So so I thought you had the whole house, but
No, they live upstairs.
and this is Aspen Hill.
Somebody's here all the time, you know.
Good point. Yeah.
2 dogs, dude.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, and you said you got other like storage areas and.
Yeah, up over in Virginia, I've got a bunch of gold records.
You want to rent one of those big rental places, a big one.
I've done that before. That was, you know, at certain hours you can only get in.
Yeah.
I can come here anytime I want, spend the night.
Yeah.
I got a couch that folds out. I can work all night because I like working at night.
Yeah.
Do you bring any of the do like any of the stars or musicians come down and see
I've
this
only
stuff?
been here now about 2 years.
That's like you said, Dick has
Bonnie
never.
Wood came over to my other place, Delancey, and Bonnie Raitt was there. She used to do her laundry there, her band, at our place. But he and I found the place, but he only lived there a year or two.
Yeah.
I lived there 11 years,
Wow.
just the other side of George Avenue.
Really?
I had the whole house. Kevin Rowe.
Oh, Kevin's.
Kevin, I lived there for 11 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Kevin moved in a month after us. We found it, Bruce and I.
Kevin, I met Kevin when he used to do the Rock of the '60s shows at College Park. Yeah, and so, but that's so then.
Kevin, he was in the Navy. I met him through another Beatles collector. We brought him to my apartment over in Adelphi once. Next thing I know, he's coming down every weekend when he has leave and he's crashing at my place. Finally, he was getting out of the Navy. He didn't want to go back to upstate New York, you know. He didn't know what he was going to do. I said, just move in. Let's
Wow.
move in
Right,
together.
yeah.
We'll get a house.
We used to have a good time. Kevin Rowe once said to me, hey, we're going to the 9:30 club tonight. You want to go? I said, I don't know who's playing. He said, some band called The Police. I said, The Police? What kind of stupid name is that? I don't know. I didn't go.
Oh God, yeah. Those stories are legion. We've all got stories like that,
yeah.
you know. I remember my friends all saw you two at the Bayou with like the
Right.
Slicky Boys.
Yeah.
And I think that I'm trying to think.
That one.
Yeah.
I saw them out at Maryland. I think it was Maryland with Nightman or Raz or somebody.
With you two?
I think. It was,
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was out at. I think it was at Ritchie.
Well, I know. Actually, I remember when they played Ritchie, they were starting to rise, get
Yeah,
big at
yeah.
that
Yeah,
point.
this
But
was after.
because they did Ontario Theater, I think after.
I saw the Ontario.
Did
Theater.
you?
That was great.
Yeah.
That was great.
That might have been with a local band. I think by the time they got to
That's
Ritchie.
the one that was local.
Yeah, they had a. But I mean, it was Slicky Boys and U2, and U2 liked Slicky Boys so much they had them open again for them when they came back. Because I think it was 2 Bayou dates.
Right.
My friends went. Why I didn't go, I have no idea. But you
I saw
know,
Blondie at the Ontario Theater. That was good. But U2 was good.
I did get to see that. I saw the Clash at Ritchie Coliseum, and that was pretty big, at least for me, and for you know, we used to do. I saw the only act that like really exploded that I saw at the Bayou was Duran Duran. So that was cool, but you know they don't have the longevity of certain other acts, but
A few good songs.
yeah, well, they were huge. So at least,
I went up to Bangladesh to the second show.
oh no kidding.
Yeah, this is funny. I can't remember the guy's name, but anyway, the first show lets out. I got tickets for the second show, so I go in. I go into the men's room. And I'm standing at the urinal, and I hear something above me. All of a sudden, the tile, the roofing, slides, and a guy jumps down right next to me. He goes, "Hi, Tom. I went to high school with him. Went to Kennedy. He was one of the guys in Kennedy." I said, "Damn." I said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I saw the first show, and I want to see the second one. I don't have a ticket, so I hit up there." I said, "Dylan played, right?" He goes, "Yep, Dylan played." I said,
He was hiding and he
he went to
crashed.
the men's room, and he, you know, put the tiling, and he climbed up in the rafter and put it back and just stayed there until he heard the place was silent. Then he heard people coming in. I came right in, walked right into the bathroom, and I guess he figured, well, they're letting people in. I hear the wall, the ceiling move, and I see a guy jump down, and I went to high school with him. I'm in New York City, and there he is. He went to Kennedy. He goes, "It was great."
That's
I'm so good.
hilarious.
I wanted to see the second show, and I didn't have a ticket, so I decided to hide up here.
Now that's interesting, Tom, because I know you said you have a lot of Fillmore stuff,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and you actually you went to a lot of New York shows. You went to a lot.
Because I'm from New York City.
Okay.
I was born there.
So you were actually going to see a lot of things. Were you going, Bruce, too, up there to New York?
No. He had pictures of Cream from New
Oh,
York.
okay.
That's when I
From
first
Philadelphia.
met him.
Oh, I
He was from
see.
Philly.
Cream was from. So that was it. Now you were seeing the shows in New York before you moved down
when I
here.
came back here. Yeah, I came back early to start school. My dad was in the Navy and he was going to retire, but he wasn't retiring until after the school year started. So I came back ahead of them in the summer of '68 to start my senior year in New York with my family. And they went on, after 1 week, they went on teacher strike for that was the year the teachers went on strike for 12 weeks. Meantime, my dad had retired, come back, got a job with Vitro. So I sat up there until the day they said the school was going to start again. And then I said, I'm moving down with you. So I didn't go to school till 1 week till November, my senior year. I just went to the village every day. I went to the movies. I went all over New York, bought records and posters, and went to concerts at the Fillmore.
So who was?
I saw Traffic at the Fillmore the weekend that Dave Mason rejoined. Just for that weekend, they got in a fight and he quit again. It was it was when the second album came out. And Feeling All Right was a big hit.
Yeah.
I mean, he had quit, but he rejoined. I got photos of that, really nice ones, in here somewhere.
So that's like.
There you go. There you go. There's Dave Mason right there on the guitar. Steve Winwood in the red pants. That's at the Fillmore. Steve Winwood at the.
That's at the Fillmore.
Hammond. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's funny because
68.
it really kind of looks. You
John
have this.
Mayall. John Mayall at the Fillmore. You know who
Wow.
his guitarist is? Mick Taylor. Before he joined the Stones.
Oh, no kidding.
I got pictures of Mick Taylor here playing the Les Paul. You can't see it very well, but I
Yeah,
think
they're
I
playing. They
some
got their
better.
shitty old equipment
Hendrix.
because
Yeah.
they weren't millionaires yet. They were trying to save monies or whatever. And they just
Yeah,
had their
Dave Mason.
stuff.
Dave Mason, Traffic.
They didn't have some company sponsoring them, and giving them amplifiers and stuff. But yet, it was,
That's what's so amazing, and that's kind of what I want to show. That
Hendrix at the
that's-
Philharmonic.
that's Hendrix?
1968. It was 1968. It was the first rock concert they agreed to have at the Philharmonic in New York, and the only way they would have a concert there is if you had some highbrow music before it. So they had like the New York String Ensemble or something open it, and Jimmy was tuning up. Look at these, Bruce.
Wow.
You remember these? These are the ones that you were looking at when I met you. Jimmy was tuning up before the show, and I was down front with my Instamatic. He had his back turned to me, and I knew that the next day was his birthday, which is I think right around today. His birthday is this week. Anyway, I knew it was his birthday the next day. So I said, "Hey, Jimmy!" And he turned around. And I said, "Happy birthday!" And he went, and the guitar went, "Thank you." He just did it on his guitar, and he moved his lips, and that made my whole existence at that point.
That's really
Jimmy was
awesome.
my hero.
Is that right?
Jimmy was my hero. I saw him 5 times.
You saw Jimi Hendrix five times?
Yeah. He was my hero.
Tell me, where in New York or all
I
over?
saw him the Philharmonic in 1968, Baltimore Civic Center in '69.
I was at that.
Woodstock '69.
I was at that.
Baltimore Civic Center in '70, and then Randall's Island Pop Festival, the last show he did in the U.S. in 1970.
He
before he went
did
to Europe and
Merriweather
died.
too.
Yeah, he did Merriweather before I got here in May of '68.
I saw
That's
that.
when it rained and there was lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used
He
to have
was-
that poster, but I was in Europe then.
Yeah, it was raining and there was thunder and everything,
Yeah.
and he was playing around with it.
Wait, Merriweather?
Yeah.
You were that you saw Hendrix?
At Merriweather, yeah. I don't remember who opened the show for him or anything.
I wasn't here then.
Did you saw him at the Hilton too, right?
Yeah, that was the first time. Was at the Washington Hilton. Yeah.
I had that poster. I almost gave it to Nils, but I sold that poster too. I had so many posters that had gone through my hands.
Yeah, those are the guy Durwood Settles was the promoter for those because I actually interviewed him.
Oh, at the Hilton.
Yeah, and at the he did Cream at Baltimore Civic Center.
I know at the Hilton show there was a guy who jumped on stage in a chicken outfit. I've heard that story, and I met the guy years later.
You know who that is? I think it's Chris Murray.
It was Chris Murray.
Yeah.
That's right. He told me that. It was him. I'd heard that story. I wasn't there because I wasn't living here then. But I'd heard that story for years. And then one night I was talking to him, and it turned out he was the guy. That's right. You don't remember that? You were there. I wasn't there. It was Chris Murray. I talked to him the other night. I said,
One thing I remember at the Hendrix show is there were 2 shows, and we got there right at the end of the first show because we had tickets for the second show. And he came out this door, and I jumped in a limo, and I guess he went back to his hotel in between the shows. So when the second concert ended, whoever I was with, I can't remember, I said, let's go back to that door and we'll try to get his autograph when he comes out because we know where he's coming out. So we ran back there. Sure enough, the door's open. Here he comes. He had that hat on that had, there was a lot of pictures of it, and I grabbed the hat. And he went like this and grabbed it. He says, nah, man, you can't have my hat. And they just kept moving and they got in the limo. And
Here's your autograph.
and the limo took off and turned the corner, right? So we start walking, and we turn the corner, and the limo's sitting at the light, just sitting there. So I ran up and knocked on the window and said, "Hey, man, let me have your hat," you know? And he said, "I can't give you my hat." And I said, well, give me something. And they all looked at each other, and he rolled the window down. Mitch Mitchell said, "Give me a cigarette." So he gave me his Salem 100 cigarette, which I had. I kept in a baggie for years, but it's gone now. But another interesting thing is that door is the same door that Reagan walked out of and got shot.
That was at the Washington Hilton.
Yeah,
yeah,
same,
yeah.
That was the same
Wow.
door. Because when he got shot, I said, "I know that door. I know exactly where that door is because Hendrix came out of that door."
Amazing.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's like you got. It was like. Now I think was there the picture of you on your website from that Hendrix show with your friends or somebody? I thought there was something you had on the site.
Oh, there's a picture, a promo picture of Hendrix.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
I got that.
You probably get
I
that
think I
from
got
me.
that from
You got
Barry
that-
Richards. I think I
really?
got that picture, or from.
I bought a bunch of them up in New York at this. I used to buy them at this place that used to sell
right,
photos.
maybe I got it from
stills.
Beach. I don't
and
know,
He'd
but-
also sell, like photographers go on a shoot, and they take 100 photos, and they, for Life magazine, they'd use 5.
Right.
They used to dump them in this place down in Times Square. And the guy had boxes. I used to find all these photos of the Stones on Ed Sullivan. I got them in all the boxes. I found all these promotional photos.
So Tom, you've been a collector your whole life.
Oh yeah,
You're,
since about '63.
you've been
I was in Scotland.
you've been always collecting stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I started out collecting baseball cards. I had the complete top set from 1954 all the way through, all the tops through the early '60s at one point. And I collected comic books. I had all the Spider-Mans, 1 through 100 and something. In moving in a military family, they disappeared. I think they were stolen, the movers. I lost my Marvel collection. I had comic books galore. I had baseball cards, unbelievable baseball cards.
Can I get-
Jackie Robinson, everything.
People
All
email
gone.
me on my website and they say, "Well, man, you got all these ticket stubs you kept and all this great memorabilia." And I say, "Man, this is nothing. The guy I went to Woodstock with has unbelievable amounts of stuff." And so that's what I'm saying. I want to make this. I got this Tom Beach page. I want to put all kinds of
Just
cool
what I
shit
need.
on there, man, to share with the world.
We'll do it in tandem with this. Like we'll both do it at the same.
Here I am trying to hide.
Yeah, I know.
He's trying to
No,
bring that.
I'll put Tom B. I won't
No,
put your last
it's
name on there or
okay.
anything,
But
My
no-
name's in about 20 Stones books and
I know it's like it's.
programs, and I'm in
Yeah, I
Dylan
mean,
books,
you know.
Springsteen, John Lennon. I'm in a bunch of books I worked on.
So it would be.
I was at I bought one of your books, one of your Rolling Stone books
Yeah.
at
Sucker.
Yeah. Well, no, it was like at one of the record conventions
Yeah.
because you were a good salesman. You were saying, "I'm in this
Really
book.
good.
I'm in this. I'm in this." I'm like, "Okay," so I bought it.
I used to be really good.
Yeah. God, but
Look at these speakers, Beats. These are
yes.
my
This
speakers.
is- I traded him an ounce of hash for his homemade speakers and his turntable and receiver back in 1969.
I made these
He made
speakers.
those. I was going to point them out to you. I've been waiting for you to see them.
Jesus Christ!
I got them from him in 1969. I knew he'd see them eventually.
those are your you made those?
I made those in high school.
How funny. That's
Good
great.
going, buddy.
This is back when stereos were just, it was like the cool thing to have a stereo, and we'd had, you had your turntable and your amplifiers and all your shit.
Yeah.
Those are you.
Speakers were a big part of your stereo back then,
Did you make it from a kit or was
No,
it?
I don't know what I did. Remember Ezekiel's?
Yeah, sure. They were local.
This guy locally has started a speaker
the
company, and
best
he made
speakers.
these great speakers. And I think just from that, I said, you know what, I can make my own. I went to some store and bought the crossover thing inside. And the,
They're still in there. They're original. You can open them up.
Jesus
We'll pull them
Christ,
out.
look at that, man.
Next time we'll pull them out.
no, I don't know where I got this funky grill.
I love that.
Some kind of crap I had laying around or something.
Yeah.
That's a riot. I can't believe you made these things.
I mean, those 40 years ago or something.
Yeah, well, I got them from you in 1970, I think, 69 or 70.
Easy peasy, man.
That's a riot.
Yeah, I still got them. Along with all these other speakers up here I got.
Oh my God, I can't believe you still got those.
Hell yeah.
Do they work?
Hell yeah.
How much do they still sound good?
They do. I gotta hook them all up. I haven't gotten anything hooked up here yet.
I think I got like boards in there to make the bass go a certain way or something, I was like all into
that's great.
stereos and stuff,
That's
They might
really
need some
cool.
work. I might have to get you over here to work on them.
Oh, man. Well, I still have these
Doesn't
Dynaco
it have a
speakers.
50-year guarantee on this on maintenance?
I still have these speakers, Dynacos, remember those?
Yeah.
these little Dynaco speakers.
I don't know how, like, the speaker, nowadays, it's like, I mean, I remember getting all my stuff from, like, Meyer Emco, you know, and like that. I don't know how those people stay in business. I mean, I guess they have to just somehow change.
Nowadays, you got a subwoofer and little teeny speakers, and that's, you know, that's all you really need.
I know. The
I
big,
mean, I saw the other day, you know, these thumbnail drives. Here, I actually have some, you know, these things.
right.
All right, I saw one on eBay. You plug it in, and it's a whole stereo, 5.1 digital surround sound, and that's it. That's the whole thing. If you don't have a sound card in your computer, you plug it in, and it's got 2 plugs to plug in your speakers, and that's the whole thing. It was a little teeny. That was it.
And now it's like, yeah, and compare that to the speakers and the whole component setup.
Whole reel to reel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got this picture of me with this big TIAC giant reel to reel and the turntable and.
Oh yeah, I've got Hendrix. My roommate took his. He had one of the new cassette stereos. Right, we recorded Hendrix at Baltimore Civic Center. I got the whole thing in stereo here somewhere.
He recorded it.
Yeah, it's great.
With that, with
Yeah.
something like that. He brought that in.
He had a small one.
Oh, okay.
But we took the Stones July 4th, 1972 at RFK. We carried in a reel-to-reel deck and 2 stereo microphones. It didn't stop us. I've got the whole show stereo. It's beautiful.
Can you imagine doing that nowadays?
I've got the whole show.
That'd be crazy.
A reel-to-reel deck with mics and everything. We had stereo mics set up.
That's unbelievable. I can't believe that.
These are what they sell in Europe. These are big in Europe. This kind of stuff.
See, this is what's cool
what
about Tom is he doesn't just have one of
No,
something. He's got
I buy 5,
lots
10.
of things.
Yes.
Of everything.
All these trunks over here are filled with concert T-shirts. Those
T-shirts,
trunks, yeah.
wow.
Stones from the 70s.
Oh my God.
Extras and 80s. They're all filled with T-shirts.
Jeez. And here's Nils right here. So that's like one of those
Yeah, that's
stand-up,
this.
a cardboard.
That's this.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But the back's missing on that one.
Do you have the that black and blue stand-up with the girl
sure.
beating, the black and blue?
Of course I do. I wouldn't be a collector right now.
Oh God! See, that's the
That's
thing.
like a starter kit. You get that.
Yeah.
Everything, man.
I bet it's when you see things like this. That's when you kind of give up being a collector.
People have told me that.
Yeah, because you're like, why try to compete?
You can't even start.
Yeah, I've been there because I've seen other collections that people have had that I've like, because I'm like, I'm not going to do this. There's no.
Yeah, what's the point of starting to do this now? You know? It's
Right.
And I was lucky. I was buying stuff when it was $1, $2. Now it's going for
that's the
$1,000.
thing. People think nowadays, that something comes out, they make millions and millions of them, and people buy them up like they're going to be collector's things. But that doesn't work like that. It's because it's old and there's only a few
I
of
like
them.
when they say limited edition nowadays.
Yeah.
That means it's limited until somebody doesn't want to buy it anymore. They keep making them.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean, what's in Tom? What's in these books here?
Promos.
Promos.
Yeah.
Promo
Radio
singles.
station- radio station copies.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah. Like, let's see.
I guess that's what's really a challenge. I guess that's what's.
These are empty. These are the full ones down here.
Golly.
All of these are full.
And when you say promos
White
for
labels for radio stations.
oh, I see. White label singles.
Yeah. Well, these are the stocks. So I gotta go check this out.
Yeah, Dylan, US DJ, Springsteen.
Now, what's that story? That famous story of like there was like what was the Springsteen single that like they put him in the somebody found a box of
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, see, look at these. These are test pressings. Rolling Stone, radio station copies.
They're
Yeah, I'll show you that one. These are the stocks. They're all out of order because I just threw them up here. I haven't done. Well, these are all radio station, all the original singles.
London Records.
London Records. Promotional copy. All the way from the first one, right there, Not Fade Away. And I Want to Be Your Man was the first one with Stone, which was tanked. It's hard to find a stock copy of that.
that single.
The radio. They went out to the radio stations, but didn't sell anything. So, yeah, these books are all full of them. Yeah.
DJ copies.
Dylan's first record, Mixed Up Confusion, promo. Blown in the Wind, promo. Blown in the Wind, Rebel with a Cause, that's worth $1,000, $1,500. Red label, there's red label ones in here too, you'll see. He had 5 red label, red vinyl, I mean.
Wow. That's a promo?
Yeah, red vinyl. 5 of them for Columbia. Here's a. Let me show you something really cool. Where's the? Let's see which one. The picture sleeve.
He's going to show us something really cool.
Yeah, right. There you go. There you go. Bruce Springsteen's first single. Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah. Okay.
It's like if I just blink my eyes a couple of times and I'll see something else. I mean, come on.
God.
Blinded by the Light promo.
That's the one. Is that the one that I'm thinking
Growing
of?
Up, the EP promo. Spirit in the Night promo. Yeah.
So now the story
They
is
threw away with these, the picture sleeves. They found them in the trash can.
they
Yeah,
found.
I had a bunch of them. Yeah, a friend of mine in New York found them in Columbia Records. That's the picture sleeve. That's rare. Very rare. I used to have a few of them.
That's the picture sleeve for.
Yeah.
That's Blinded by the Light. Now that the only.
Here's the original single, which is very rare. And also the original single for Spirit in the Night. Nobody bought them. They melted them back down.
Those are singles that were made commercially?
Yeah, these are the commercial ones. Those are the white label ones.
Oh, okay, right.
The white label ones are right here.
I used to know this.
Yeah.
You know.
The white label ones you can find a lot of. The commercial ones you can't. Nobody bought them. These you can, they're still really rare, but.
And people, the record label melted them down.
Yeah, they didn't sell.
Wow.
So they were either tossed or melted or.
So what happened was somebody found, like somebody was trash picking, I guess, or just looking in the garbage.
Friend of mine in New York at Columbia Records. Bob Dylan.
So what, he found a bunch of those sleeves?
I think that's the story. He found the sleeves, Tom, or
Yeah, a box of sleeves, 50. That's when I got mine from him.
There's a butcher cover website, and it tells a story about
Got the poster framed, the promo poster.
a guy who was in charge of Capitol Records back then or something took a whole box of them home and put them in the back of his closet.
Yeah.
This was before they pasted the other cover on.
Right.
They were in the shrink wrap and everything. And they sat there for like 30 years. And then when he was dying or something, he told his son, they said, back in the back, there's a box back there. You do what you want with them. And he took them to some kind of record thing, and people went nuts, of course. And sold a few of them for like $1,000 a piece then. This is, I think, happened 10 years ago or something. But it was a really cool story. But can you imagine finding something like that? I mean, the original cover without the thing pasted over it.
the actual butcher block.
Yeah, the butcher cover.
The butcher cover, yeah.
Yeah, the guy just, before they pasted the thing, he took a whole box and took them home. Just monos. They were monos, which makes them worth even more or something.
Yeah, finding something like that could really help.
But show him your butcher cover, man.
I will.
That's one of the greatest collector's items of all time.
Right now, I'm looking for something else. One of these boxes. Oh, here.
Yeah, there's ones on eBay, $1,000 for the butcher, and ones that look like shit. They're all torn up when they pasted. Now they say if you got one and the original cover's underneath, they say don't even pull off the other.
Right. Yeah. Wow, excuse me, Tom.
There's something that's missing. It's freaking me out.
Say,
There's got to be lots of them still out there. People have. They don't even realize that the other cover's underneath.
I guess so.
Oh, there's probably
There
lots
you go.
of them.
Look at these Dylan 45s from all over the world.
Oh,
Come on
Hey,
in.
come on in.
Dylan 45s.
All over the world. Picture sleeves. That's what all these are, Stones and Dylan. Oh, I'm freaking out. Come on in, Dick.
Hey.
I'm looking for something.
Tom, call back.
Oh, you got a.
Tom down?
Yeah, what's up?
Call Saxby.
Hey, Saxby.
Come on, Sax.
Saxby.
Saxby. Come here, buddy. Hey, buddy. Hey, come here.
If you didn't know where he was. Hey, Jeff.
Dick, how you doing?
That's my buddy.
How are you?
Couple of wrong turns.
Oh,
That's my buddy. Come on in here. Yeah.
how you doing?
Good.
Good to see you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
This is my old buddy Bruce.
Bruce?
You probably met
Yeah, I
Bruce.
think we met before.
Yeah, he used to live in Delancey with me for the first year.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's been a while.
Yeah, it has.
Is this a new addition to the family, or is that Abby's?
Yeah.
Yeah, Abby's.
He's
Okay.
my dog now. And Tom's.
Tom.
Tom was adopted on.
Oh, that's funny. I've been after Tom for how long to work with him? When it's like, this is great because Bruce and he went to high school,
Right.
and I'm putting together a project.
Yeah.
To
so you've been telling me,
and it's like, this is great. It's like,
yeah, this is wow. This is the first time I've been in here.
That's what
This is as organized as I've ever seen it.
Come on, it looks the same as it did 40 years ago, doesn't it?
Here's your beer. Where do you want it?
Oh, I'll have one in a minute. Boy, I'm freaking out because I'm missing something.
Uh-oh.
It's big time.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy, this is really bad. Oh boy. I'm just hoping somebody didn't steal it from me when one of my moves. Oh man. This is bad.
Was it a 45?
No, it's picture sleeves. Worth thousands and thousands of dollars. Probably $50,000.
This is nice. So you're pitching this WTA?
Well, yeah. I'm gonna pitch it. I'm gonna, I feel like I'm gonna just do it anyway, because they're not gonna actually put any money up.
Right.
And it's like, and when you
Gotta do it.
yeah, exactly. And so I wanna my original hope.
Anyway.
I know.
But then we got somebody, Linda ran across some guy who was selling this can and like new for half price, so I just jumped on that.
You mean
It's kind of like, it's about the same size as the old SL ones,
right.
But it's for X, whatever it was, but it's an HD.
The XL one, you mean?
Yeah.
That's like the one I've got, the old one I have.
Yeah.
Take a shot of this, and can you get a still from it?
Oh, sure.
And then send it to me.
Yeah, sure.
Let's go outside here.
All right.
See if we can get...
Dick, yeah, this.
God, this is bad.
Well,
I need some time.
it'll turn up. I'm sure
I
it'll.
don't know, but see, they had a boarder who lived upstairs and they threw him out.
Oh, really?
Big guy, and he could have stolen.
Wow.
The whole box is missing. Oh my God.
You go
Oh
out?
my God.
That's me.
Oh, there he is.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Hey, buddy. Looks like he's doing his business.
Oh, good.
It's the only place it's got to be there, and there's a spot missing.
Really?
Yep. Oh my God, this is so bad. Oh man, I can't believe it. Oh my God.
It's like
There used to be one here. Holy crap. Oh my God. They were in here, and see, they're empty.
they're empty.
Yes.
These were the one. They were down there.
No, they were up there.
Oh, okay.
I think the guy took them. Oh my God. They're gone. Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh my God. I can't be filmed anymore today.
No, I understand.
Oh my God. Holy crap. Oh my God.
Jeez.
They're all gone. 2 boxes full of them, and there were $1,000 in it. I mean, one of them was worth a couple thousand alone.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
Man.
I can't believe this.
Tom, the odds are that they're here
They're not
somewhere.
here. Bruce, I keep everything in my boxes. Oh my God. I'm
Yeah,
freaked
take
out.
a shot of this.
I'm freaked out. Oh my God. I can't believe this. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I can try to get another picture. I have a still camera.
Here, let's just
I mean,
go outside.
okay.
Hey, found some of them.
You did.
Yes. Okay, I got them.
You got him.
I told you.
Oh God. I don't remember taking them out of the box when I moved.
Why?
Look at these.
I'm like, this would be like.
Every one of these is $300-400.
Oh God, you're
Look at
kidding.
this. Look at this. Satisfaction. Look at these. Look at this one here. This one here, the Stones rejected. They had
Those
some.
the one that was sitting on
This
the
one here is
floor
worth.
right back
This
over
one here is
there?
worth about $1,200. It never came out. I
Really?
used to have 2 of them. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they printed them, and then the record company, it was, when they were getting all the feminist bullshit, and because the line was sitting on a woman,
Jeez.
that thing there's worth a couple $1,000.
Wow.
Easy.
Boy, Tom. Hey, I'm glad. You doing all right there? Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'll get. I have my other camera here, Bruce. I'll take you going like that, holding that, and then I can do a couple of. Look at this thing.
Jukebox records.
Wow.
For the jukebox.
Oh, yeah, I just want to.
You used to get
Oh,
five
yeah.
plays.
I'll take. What's that?
You used to get 5 plays in a jukebox for, you know,
Yeah,
like $1.
yeah, yeah.
That's what they used to do. They used to take 4 songs off an album, 4 or 5,
Wow.
and put it in a jukebox. These weren't for sale.
So they're like
Jeez,
33.
Tom, I would have felt really bad if I had
I
like
was in here all day ripping the
Yeah.
jukebox.
just as you come in, Dick.
These out. Metal acetates. Metal acetates. You know, that's the pressing plant. Dylan,
Right.
Stones,
Those are
Jack Flash.
those are actual
Reference
What,
discs.
those are actual acetates.
Yeah, these are reference discs. Yeah.
Wow. Let me see
Yeah.
those. That's
I've got tons of them. I've got albums. I've got
that's like
things such as I, Bob Dylan, Tomorrow's a Long Time, Columbia Recording Studios.
that's like so.
It's Not For You, Columbia Recording Studios.
What would they do with these things? Throw them out or just?
They'd listen to them, you know, and sometimes they'd give them to the radio station if they wanted to get
It's
it
a
on the
different
air
kind
right
of like
away.
vinyl than they
No,
use on the actual
it's
record.
Metal. It's metal. It comes right from the stamper.
Oh wow.
Yeah. They'd use them for reference, you know, that, you know, that doesn't sound right. Let's go back and record again, or whatever, you know.
Wow. Is that the thing that wasn't there that story where somebody saw? Here, Bruce, we can try to take one with this. Maybe
I
it'll.
have it
You
here.
want to take it? Yeah, take.
Patience while I was-
Oh, hey, I'm glad it had a happy ending.
Yeah.
You know, I would have
I
like.
always think the worst.
Well, I mean, you know.
I have had a lot of stuff ripped off.
I'm
before.
sure.
People coming over, not here, but in
No,
the old
I-
days,
yeah.
There were some thieves, you know, who were collectors who I used to trade with. And one time I came to a room, I found a guy stuffing a bunch of 45s, rare Springsteen down his pants.
Jeez, really?
I had stuff missing. I had a $100 bill in my. I was the first person, at least according to Bruce Springsteen, to
Yeah.
ask him to sign a $100 bill, and he
Oh.
signed it beautiful. For Big Time Tom, or To Big Time Tom, Bruce Springsteen. Somebody stole it from me on my desk.
$100 bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Sign.
signed it when he was nobody, when he'd never
Jeez.
seen a $100 bill before.
It's blink and record.
Oh
I
yeah,
think it's on video
it's
or
on
something.
movie. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Put it back on.
Let's yeah. What you do is you.
Over here, this is all 60s U.S. American bands. The Grateful Dead, the Jefferson Airplane, and, you know.
Dick, you've never seen this? Oh, your first time.
I've seen this
I've
new
lived
setup.
with it, but
He
I've
hasn't
never
seen the new setup.
Oh.
never seen it like
This
this.
is all Stones.
This is the nicest
This is all
showcase
Stones.
you've ever had for it.
This is all Stones.
Yeah.
Dylan. Stones bootlegs. Okay, back here.
Did the picture turn out?
These are
Yeah, I
all
think so. There's
Yeah.
I took like 3 or 4.
Sure.
But yeah, you could. I think it'd be a hell of an interesting documentary. You know, rock and roll, Washington rock and roll, whatever you're going to call it.
And then, but it's just kind of the whole evolution. But it's how the industry really kind of took off.
That way it's more general. That way you can,
Yeah.
they'll show it. You know, like anywhere in the country they can show it.
Yeah, I think, but it's like there's a whole lot of cool stories. There's a lot of really cool, it's like a cool social and cultural history.
Yeah, people were.
Yeah.
All kinds of people were just in the right. When people said to me, "Oh man, how'd you sell all those concerts and this and that?" And I said, "Look, I was just lucky to be the right age at the right time in the right place, you know, and that's basically it. We just happened to be the right age for all this action and all this music, and you know, we had enough brains to listen to it, I guess, or something."
It's funny that's what's so interesting about being able to kind of zero in and connect with like the ephemera, and know that something's valuable, or at least that something's worth saving. Not that it's necessarily valuable,
Yeah.
you know, but that something's worth saving, and then it becomes this one of a kind item.
Yeah, like all those ticket stubs I have, you know, like the Doors for $2.50. You know, it's like people say, "Man, it's amazing you still have all those ticket stubs from back then." I said, well, I just, you know, I was a kid, I collected them, I threw them in a box, and over the years I just kept throwing them in a box, you know. And I didn't know there was going to be an internet and
Right.
and all this was going to happen. I mean, you know, shit.
Yeah.
Well, he mentions things, and then I start thinking, well, I remember this. You know, I didn't
Right.
remember that before, and then, you know, and I say things, and he go, "Oh yeah, I
He's
remember
getting a
now."
lot more to do.
So it, you know, it's just so many things that happen in so many places. We were just kids going to see rock and
Anybody
roll.
want a beer? Go ahead. I had to down 2 real quick after that. Man, I thought I lost it all.
Well, if it's any consolation, Dick and Bruce weren't that concerned. I was feeling you. I was really worried.
Feeling my pain.
I was because, but they seemed to think they knew that it was going to
Yeah,
show
they've
up.
seen this happen before.
Yeah, right. They so.
Here
That happens to
somewhere,
me at least once a week.
It's here somewhere.
I still can't find this one tape.
You know what?
And,
I,
That promo is
I
worth.
can't find it.
That's
I
worth-
tore the house apart.
This is worth over $1,000. This is the promo sleeve where the Beatles
Oh wow.
promote Dylan on the back. It came out only with the promo 45. This
Wow.
is very rare. Very rare. Subterranean Homesick Blues, Columbia Records.
Look at
That's
that.
worth, I could probably get $2,000 for that.
But this was like, but how do you? So I know you don't want to give away trade secrets, but it's like, it's all right. To me, look at. I mean, it's not like soup, but it looks really good.
nice.
It's really got a nice image. In low light, it's got.
Oh yeah.
And
That's perfect.
it's high def.
Check it out, dude.
Yeah, high def. Yeah.
I got the
But-
flyers for Laurel Pop Festival,
all right.
Atlantic City Pop Festival, and Woodstock.
Yeah. And I still got one of those too.
Yeah, I
All
got
right. So here's what I'm going to do.
I think
is-
I got the note from the woman when she sent me the.
You know, I got my own laptop.
Isn't that neat? Look at that.
We don't need her, so I'm going to get a hold of you and come down
See,
here one
that's
day
the
with my
first
laptop
one.
and the scanner, and we can
Then
sit
they
here
went
and
to
scan
that.
stuff
Yeah.
for
And then
the
they went.
webpage.
Case of beer too.
Actually, you know what?
It's a
You know,
beer.
Bruce, that'll be great because if you can scan, because then I can use the scans in
Yeah.
the film,
I was
and then we
gonna go to
can.
the other two. I think I might have gone to the
Yeah, I
one.
got a
don't
scanner and a
remember.
laptop. I'm going to come down here and we'll sit
You-
here and scan for a few hours.
Did you now,
All right,
Dick?
Dickie,
What?
did you go see
Yeah, I
Led
went to
Zeppelin
Woodstock.
at Wheaton Youth Center?
You know, who I did see there was,
Rod Stewart in the Faces.
maybe that's what it was. Did the Kinks ever play there?
No, Rod Stewart did. The Kings played at T.C. Williams High School.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever
I know
actually
that-
been
they
there
had a
and
lot of-
saw it.
What?
I
Now,
used to go to we used to a lot. But,
Yeah, there you
I
go.
just can't. I don't
the
remember
camera.
half the people who played it.
tell me now. Now here's Dick.
Yeah, I went to Woodstock. I actually made the mistake of going to Woodstock,
Yeah.
and then it said, "Oh no, it's in Bethel," and so we went to Bethel, but no, it's in White Lake.
So you actually went there and you couldn't get. You tried to go and you couldn't like
Oh
find
no,
it.
we got in.
Oh.
Everybody got in. That got there. You know, we didn't have tickets like everybody else.
I thought I
people
snuck in.
did. Like people, they're valuable.
We hopped the fence behind the stage and thought we snuck in. This hippie sitting there stoned, and he goes, "Hey man, it's a free concert. You could have walked in over there."
Yeah,
We jumped
yeah.
this 6-foot chain link fence, and I got scraped.
Somebody,
up.
when I got in, we climbed through a fence. Somebody pulled it open, but
But you.
There we go.
But you guys, so the thing is, you went. Now, what high school did you go to, Dick?
Springbrook.
You went to Springbrook.
Yeah.
Okay, because
Did you know Sherry Remer? Or,
yeah.
And that's my cousins. And Jay Remer.
Yeah, he's right down the street. from
Mona
us.
Remer.
Mona was in my class. Yeah.
What's your name again?
Dick Bangham.
Dick Bangham.
Dick's the artist. He used to be in Root Boy Slim's band.
Oh, okay.
He was a
Your
Root-
face
He
looks
did all the
familiar.
Root Boy
you know?
albums. He did all the posters and.
Dick All right, I'm gonna have to.
she'll never forget that name. She'll know it.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Mona remember.
but you.
Jay.
But Dick, you didn't. Do you hear? Because that's the one thing. Nobody seems to have any
Yeah.
concrete evidence of
okay.
Led Zeppelin at the Wheaton Youth Center.
That's an urban myth.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I can't say
I'm
for
gonna- I'm gonna
sure.
be getting it.
Yeah.
But listen to it last
I
night.
remember
It was
they
incredible.
had some
So I'll have it later.
some
today.
acts that you wouldn't think would play there. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. It was a teeny little thing. I mean, it was like they couldn't sell enough tickets to make enough money
No
to pay
problem.
Led
That's
Zeppelin,
fine.
you know? I mean,
I'll talk
that's
to you
what
before I leave.
the
Yeah,
whole
I'll
thing
talk to
is
you
with
before I
me. Is
leave.
like, how could they?
Well, the story I've been told is they had an off night, and they called Barry Richards, who was the promoter, and he's like, and he put him in on Tuesday. It was
Maybe they
January
did, like,
20th.
a favor for him, and they were
Right.
still trying to be known. So they said, "What the hell? Let's
We
go
should-
do this
You should
gig."
get a hold of Barry.
Oh, I am. Well, I'm one step away from talking to him, and
All right, Beach is going to find you that girl with the Wheaton Youth Center.
Well, I don't know if I
Sharon.
can find her, but I know somebody who will know her name. Do you know her name? The woman who ran the girl, the blonde, Sharon.
Yeah,
You know what? I think knows. Somebody knows.
Anyway, so you got to.
yeah, I'm gonna work right. I mean, Joe Lee says that he saw Delaney and Bonnie there with Eric Clapton on guitar.
I saw Delaney Bonnie with
Yeah,
Eric
that's the
Clapton.
kind of thing that you know. That
I
could
saw him,
happen.
but we saw him at the Baltimore Civic, or I saw him at the Baltimore Civic Center
I thought the Kings
Yeah.
had played
with Eric Clapton on guitar. I think it was Dave Mason. Too.
I saw the
can't remember.
Kinks there, but they
Where?
you
So did I. No, not the Kinks. You saw the Kinks at the Emergency, maybe
Maybe that's what it was.
downtown. I was
Yeah.
sitting with Nils Lofgren. It's when Arthur came out. They played the Emergency, which was a health fruit drink bar. Remember?
Oh yeah,
They
yeah.
sold bootlegs in the
Oh
front.
yeah, yeah.
They sold bootlegs in the front.
It was all underage.
I filmed that too. I filmed that and it came out too dark.
Yeah, but every time I went down there,
Yeah.
I guess I was so stoned. You know,
Remember that? Remember that
You couldn't
ledge that
drink
went up?
anything,
Remember,
but boy, you could do everything.
remember that
else.
ledge in the back that went up?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
that's
right.
where we used to get stoned. I was sitting
Yeah,
up there smoking
that's where
hash
I
with
sit.
Nils.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the Kings, and the Kings played T.C. Williams. They were supposed to play Richie one night,
Sleep at the
and they
Wheel used to
canceled.
play there all the time.
They played Richie later because I got photos
Yeah.
of that, but they were supposed to play Richie one night, and they said, "Oh, the Kings been canceled. They can't make it." But we got the Youngbloods.
You should hear the interview he did with Nils about the Who, and then Nils drove over and saw Hendrix at the Ambassador Theater. He's got it on the website.
Yeah.
You should go
Oh
listen
yeah,
to
I
it.
know. I've talked to Nils about that before. I remember.
Yeah, it's
How's Nils doing, by the way?
He's still in therapy, recovering.
It's going to be in therapy for what, 6-8 weeks or 12
Well,
weeks?
it's been 6
been a
weeks
while.
already, I think. And but he's on the mend.
Good.
He had double hip.
that's what Tom said. Yeah.
Tell him I said hello. Give him my
I
best.
will.
Give him my best. Tell him we were looking at grin posters from Wheat Youth Center.
Yeah, that's this was a great. Well, you know, the battery just died.
Okay.
This was a great.
I told you we had to come over here and just
Oh man, this was like
let it run.
This
you
is-
know, I didn't know what to talk about on the phone.
I actually, they say if you remember anything from Woodstock, you weren't there. But I
I
actually
remember selling catnip and making a profit.
I remember. You know, it was hard to find.
You
drink of
remember
water
smoking
anywhere.
it? He's the hippie we sold it to.
Yeah, it was.
But,
It was quite. That was quite
I
a.
remember wrestling with a pup tent in the mud. Yeah, I remember the one. The one act that I saw that was that I maneuvered myself up really right in front of the stage, but you know I was sleeping in a puddle with somebody standing on my hair. You know,
Man, we sat in the mud for 3 days.
And,
That's what I tell people.
and then the Who came on. You know,
We
but
came on at
first
like 3 o'clock in the morning.
was it that? I don't remember what time it was.
Because
I
if you
just
look at
remember
the
I was down
movie,
in front.
it's just getting light
Yeah.
behind them.
Yeah, when they were doing Tommy, the sun was coming
Yep.
up behind him.
But Abby Hoffman got on stage before they came on and just went into this whole rant about the Chicago.
He got him with his SG, his
and-
Gibson. Boom.
Yeah, and then Pete Townsend comes around and just goes, wham! Like that. And I'm going,
Fuck
oh,
up, you
man.
You know what was really great? I thought the
Goes
band,
into
the
my
band were great.
generation.
The band were great, and Creedence Clearwater was great.
Yeah.
I remember being way up top. I had to go.
Country Joe and the Fish.
And I'm looking down in all the fires and stuff. I was way in the back.
John Sebastian was
And,
good.
and,
Back when he could sing.
Yeah.
Arlo Guthrie was doing coming into Los Angeles.
Yeah,
I was
right.
way up in the back, looking down, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, well, I got close for the Who.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
If you look,
And the Abby Hoffman thing. That's the one thing I just went, whoa!
if you look at the Woodstock movie, Monday morning when Hendrix plays, they show the crowd. It's like there's nobody there. Everybody left the night before to had to be back to work on Monday morning. But we were still there. There's only like a couple of thousand people still standing in from, and you see behind them it's all trash everywhere and everything.
On the 20th
Yeah,
anniversary of
promo
Woodstock,
poster.
That's-
Look,
wow.
this was on the tube by Xerox, Capitol Records. This was on the tube, but the poster.
That was the promo.
That's the date, 1966. Here, come here. Talk about the Beatles. Come look at this real quick. I didn't show you the Beatles stuff. Some of the Beatles stuff.
Put another battery. Hey,
I should have brought my camera.
What's that?
I should have brought my camera.
Yeah. No, this is Is there an outlet here? I'll put it.
Definitely.
I got it. Do you see an outlet here?
Sure there is one.
Everybody starts with,
There's a fireplace.
What's that?
I mean,
These are. Hold on, Tom. I'm gonna actually.
no, not more.
I got. Well, you know what? I got 10 minutes left on this tape, and all I need is a.
This isn't going to be that interesting.
Oh, you can power.
Charge
You
the
don't
battery
think?
up.
I got
Where's
a.
the plug, Tom?
Yeah, right here.
Here, just all I got to do is just put that in there. Thanks.
Actually, I don't think any of it's interesting. So.
Yeah, Tom goes. What did he say, Bruce? He goes.
Let me show you something
Let me
cool."
show you something cool. And you're like,
This is the bridge. We've been here an hour.
yeah, and
I don't think it's going to go. Well, you go.
it's like, oh,
Is it working?
yeah, I'm
I'm hoping this is plugged in. I
Let me
think
show
it
you
is.
something cool here.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I'm more, this right?
Oh no, there's
Yeah.
those.
Check these out.
Verb.
Check these out. I got a few of these introducing. But who remembers this one on VJ? This one's worth a lot of money. Opens up, VJ. Remember this one? Look at these.
I've got
Look at these. Look at these.
Oh, She Loves You on Swan. That was
Yeah,
on Swan.
sure. I got the picture sleeve of that. Look at those. How about this one? This is very rare. The Beatles versus the Four Seasons double album. Comes with a poster. I got the poster too.
I've never seen it.
This is American.
The Four
Very rare.
Seasons play at Kennedy.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
At the high school?
Yeah.
At Kennedy? Maybe you saw that.
Maybe
I wasn't
that's-
here then.
No, there was another band that played there too. Some
Are
other.
you thinking the British Walkers? They were local.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
they were
that was
local.
it.
They were local.
Were they?
They used to play at
He knows all about
That's
this.
who it
Yeah,
was,
they
the
were local.
British
I was going to say that earlier. I'm saying he thinks it was a British band. I know it was the British
Yeah, it
Walkers.
was the British
They were
Walkers.
local.
All right, I don't
And the
remember.
Hangmen, they were all local.
So,
Look at these.
so that's the, so,
Beatles Tell All interview album. Here's H.E. Sweet on Atco, American. It's a white label, promo.
Tom, did you say that behind you is all the Beatles? All
This is
the,
all Beatles. All
Right,
of this.
wow.
This is all Springsteen.
So you got the Tony Sheridan.
That one? Savage Young Beatles, the best of the Beatles. These all came out, after they made it, It's got, where is it?
Oh, I had
Here
that
somewhere.
one.
The Beatles. It's Tony Sheridan. Take out some insurance on my baby. You had this? You don't want to know how much it's worth now.
Yeah.
There you go. How about this one, Dickie?
Nah.
The Amazing Beatles. These are all American. Big hits. This is a compilation.
now these came out before their,
No. All these came out to cash in 60,
Oh, okay.
64. But they're all rare. This one was the first one, though. This came out before Capitol.
oh, okay.
Yeah, VJ had their Capitol license to VJ. They didn't want to sign them. They turned the Beatles down like 3 times.
Wow.
That's why they were on Toily. Let Me Do was on Toily. She Loves You was on Swan.
Right.
Yeah. Please Please Me and From Me to You were on VJ.
Yeah.
And then they, and then Beatlemania started in Silver Spring, Maryland.
Oh, right. Carol James, right? Was
Is that
that?
who it was?
Yes,
Yeah, the
Carol
D-
James.
And they were. So that's when Capitol decided to pick them up, and they rushed.
Yeah, I Wanna Hold Your
released
Hand.
The I Want to Hold Your Hand like a month early.
In December.
So now you were too
'Cause this
young,
girl
Bruce,
called
for
up.
Beatlemania.
Right.
You think?
Yeah,
You
right
do
there.
you remember? What was it like around here when the Beatles hit? Like you got.
They were
grade.
They were supposed to be on CBS the day Kennedy was shot. There was a
Jack
little-
Parr showed them. Oh, you're talking about Cronkite, right? He
There
was going
was,
to show
there was a
Beatlemania
little
clip.
there was a
clip.
little segment of
Right.
them because they were so big in Europe, in England,
Right.
and it got preempted, of course.
Okay.
But they had shown something in the morning before Kennedy had been shot, and this girl saw it, and then
Yes, you'll be here visiting.
and she had, and then so that's how she
Sax
got
man.
Oh, that's how that.
She
So
was homesick that day from
Yeah.
school,
Huh,
and then
wow.
saw it in the morning, and then got on the phone and started calling us DJ because she knew that somehow this guy had gotten a copy.
but what was it like? What was it like in the high school or wherever you were in school? Like,
6th grade when the Beatles hit.
so were people talking about it the next day?
Yeah,
or-
I remember sitting in the bathroom with the album and arguing over who was Ringo and who was Paul and
Right.
stuff like that with people, with other kids.
But you were in.
I was in 8th grade.
So everybody talked about it like the next day or after. How did it kind of get going, or just?
I just remember
They started playing it on the radio.
Right.
Yeah, I had a little transistor radio, and I could tune in. I could get WABC in New York.
Yeah.
Brucey would play the Beatles. It'd be late at night. If I put the radio in the right place, I could hear it.
And then Ed Sullivan, back then you got to remember, in Washington there was channel 4, 5, 7, and 9.
Right.
That was it. That was the only thing you could watch.
Yeah.
So, and everybody watched Ed Sullivan or something. It was like an automatic thing. I mean, that's what everybody did.
Right.
So when they were going to be on, it was like,
And that's exactly, and that the reason I'm so fascinated by that, like the concert thing, and the history of it is because there was nothing else to do. There really weren't any other outlets, maybe.
I remember the first time I heard them, I thought there was a girl in the group, because they had the high harmonies. I thought there was a girl in it.
yeah. It was,
Did you go to the show or you didn't?
I got invited. You remember Rita Senders? This girl had an extra ticket for the show, and it was a school night, and it was snowed that night too.
Was that at Uline Arena or at RFK?
No, the Coliseum.
Coliseum,
February
yeah.
16th.
Yeah,
I think it was.
It was like a
64.
Wednesday night or a
I
Tuesday
found
night or
tickets
something
to
like
wrestling
that.
matches.
And my
there.
parents,
Is that right?
My parents wouldn't let me go because it was school
Bruno
night and it
San
was snowing.
Martino.
Tickets were $2.
How's that photo?
Tom Carrico went.
Haystacks
we
County.
did. Yeah, the wrestling
My
shows.
dad used to take us to
My
wrestling
parents
matches.
used to love it.
But I went out. You know, when the records started coming out, I'd go up to. I got into major shoplifting thing. I go up this giant. Used to have a record section, and me and my buddies would go up and we'd take them out of the cover stupidly because we could bend them a little bit and put them up under our shirt. You know? And then my locker was full. I had my locker at school, plus I had a locker at the bowling alley, full of Beatles magazines, singles, albums, and everything. And I was like, I remember one of my homeroom teachers, something came around and threatened to bust me. He says, "I know what you're doing in there." So I was selling them. And I also drew pictures. I still got a set of pen and ink
Did you hear the news yet?
This was when I was in 7th grade. I'd sell them to the... Was it in 7th grade or 8th grade? I was in 7th. I was selling them to the high school kids. I was in junior high.
Yeah.
And through a buddy of mine, I'd sell
Pusher.
them for and I'd just sit there and knock them out, you know, and sell them for like $5 a piece or something like that.
Did you hear that the Vatican yesterday pardoned John Lennon for his comments about Christ? It's on all the websites. It was on the news last night. I didn't even know that they, you know.
Who was even beefing about that?
Yeah, I didn't know you'd...
Yeah, no, check the websites. It was on the news last night, the
Well,
national
when
news.
you listen to
The
what he
Vatican has
said-
pardoned him for, they said they were the comments of a young man.
Maybe the
something.
Pope now is a Beatle fan. How old is he, you know?
You know, he was right. You know, at the time, you know, the Beatles probably had a bigger following than Jesus did when he was alive. You know?
They did.
Yeah, and that's all he was basically saying is we're as popular
Yeah.
as Jesus was.
Yeah, hey, were there record burnings around here? Do you remember? Were they?
I was in Europe.
Oh, okay.
Well,
It was mostly down
actually, I
south.
was-
Yeah.
That'll
Bible
be
Belt.
Well, actually, I
Yeah.
was here. I was down south. Yeah, I know they were down south. I don't know about up here.
God.
Yeah, my dad's ship was being built at the time. We were
My
in
father
Mississippi.
would remember he never liked the Beatles, and particularly John Lennon, because Lennon, you know, was encouraging people to take drugs, you know, and he was always
He never came out. Oh, well, you mean later? Like in
Yeah,
68,
later,
9,
yeah. You know, he's, you know, talking about acid and pot, and my dad was just real uptight about that until I told him, he says, you got the same birthday as him.
Oh, boy.
I says, oh, really?
All right, well, I'm going to take off.
Let me take a picture of all you guys, just a still. This is really great. I tell you, this
Can
is...
Saxby be in it?
Sure.
Shelby said to tell you to get Saxby on video.
Here he is.
Saxby, here. Look.
That's your dog, Tom?
No, I'm his uncle.
Bruce, go ahead and
yeah.
let me take a...
Here, Sax. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here, buddy. I get you. Yes. Ooh.
You guys, I'm gonna...
Hey, buddy boy.
All right, here we go.
It's the Beagles.
The Beagles. Come on, you can work now.
The B-Johns.
The Beagles don't say it.
All right, wait a minute. Take one of just me and Beach.
Okay, all right.
I want one of these from my... All right, let's step outside
That's
and
right,
take
you
one.
got
I want
it
to make
for
sure I
the,
get a good one of me and Beach.
Okay.
Went to Woodstock with.
Good boy.
Yeah.